Someone has arrived. Today's guest. Where is she? Where is she? There we go. Hola. How's it going? Say what's up to my people.
What's up, my people?
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Kiss Capades podcast. Today I have a very special, and I mean special guest with me. And you know, I've been trying to get her to the podcast for a couple of months now. Probably 6 or 7 months.
Really?
Yes, of negotiating back and forth, like, yo, are your people okay with this? Can we do this and everything? And finally she's here. So I will just let her introduce herself, her title, and you know, maybe what she does, and then we can get on with the podcast.
Hi, everyone. I'm Finali Galaiya, Miss World Kenya 2018-2019. And what do I do? Well, for now, I'm breathing, surviving. I'm a very proud feminist, and well, you'll find out what else I do in the minutes to come.
So there we have it, guys. So let's just jump straight to it.
Okay?
I mean, I have nothing but good things to say about you, because you know, you really represented our country in a very what are the words? I look at you smiling. In a very nice way when you were just there on that platform for Miss World. And I just want to know a little bit more about you, but it's not just for me, but for the people, because you have these interviews all the time, but they're brief. Maybe you just have, like, you know, you're promoting the event, you know, you have like a 15-minute segment, but you know, with the podcast, we have like 2 hours. So if there's anything you don't want to talk about, feel free to skip it, or you can tiptoe around the subject, you know. You can be polite about it. Just tiptoe around the subject and not talk about it. But you know, it's just questions and all these things that people would want to know about you, and maybe they haven't had the opportunity to.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Ask away.
Let's do it.
And whenever I feel the need to tiptoe, I'm actually going to go walking around here. You guys don't mind, right?
No, do it. So let's just talk about where did you grow up in Kenya? Are you full Kenyan?
Born and brought up in Kenya. My parents had moved here way before I was born, and so I was born here. My sister was born here. My brother was born here. Actually live on the very road I was born on, so it's very funny.
Like from childhood?
No, I was born at Aga Khan Hospital, and then I lived at other places, but at the moment I live on the very road where Aga Khan Hospital is. So
wow.
I'm like 2 blocks away from the very place I was born at. So
it would only be fair if your first kid is also.
Yeah, it's way into the future. But
Yeah, future plans.
At
I'm
least
just
somebody's
saying.
thinking about my future kids. If
yeah.
I'm not.
Oh yeah. So, what kind of childhood did you have? Like, did you used to just do like beauty pageants like from an early age, or no? No?
I was
what was your thing in school?
I was this super shy kid. My brother's sister. I have a younger sister, Himanshi, and a younger brother, Darpan.
Yeah.
And while growing up, till today, I still tell them they have bullied me. I have not once in my life bullied them. I was, even till now, a lot of my neighbors think I'm the youngest kid, not the oldest one, because I am treated as the youngest one.
You're the firstborn.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's okay if if you skip this part and edit this.
No, we don't need to. No, we don't need to do that.
Yeah, so my brother and stuff and tell me we would leave Finali to stare at a wall, and she would be staring at it for hours. I was extremely introverted. I wouldn't play outside. I wouldn't do anything. And then I think that was until about, say, 2006, until I was in standard 6.
Yeah.
And then things changed for me from 2007. I think teenage, lots of new classmates. I was doing very well academically. So as a kid, I was very dumb. I was like the last one in class. And then standard 7, and I was rank 4. And then by the time I was in Form 4, I was like first in my class, 4th overall. And I was getting like all these A stars and A's. And But like, so for me, secondary school has been like the turning point of going from introvert to extrovert, and at the moment I'm a proud ambivert, if that makes sense.
I don't even know what that means.
Ambivert is
But
like-
please explain as I sip my tea.
So an ambivert is somebody who is like both an extrovert and an introvert. So for someone like me, if I have a day like today where I'm talking to you guys and you for a few hours, I'll go home and I'll just lock myself in my room and be like, okay, let me get some me time for a few hours now, because I kind of need that me time, but I also need that time with people.
Yeah.
So there are times when I'm completely silent, and then there are times when people are like, okay, Finali, please.
Shut up, please. Please. We've had enough. And I didn't even know what to expect when, we're coming. I wasn't sure, like, does she talk a lot? Is she like a silent person, or is she like...
You can choose. I can do both.
Oh no, let's go with talkative. So yeah, you're saying like it shifted like from like, from your teen years, and you started being like a bit more social and smart.
Yeah, things changed for me like 360 degrees.
Yeah, but was that like just personal choice, or was it environment? What made you change from that? Because
so it's something I didn't really understand. For me, I think academically what changed for me was the teachers change. Standard 1 to standard 6, you have the same teachers who are teaching you geography from standard 1 to standard 6. You're just changing your class.
Yeah.
Or maybe your class teacher changes, but a few changes are there, but mostly your classmates are the same. A lot of kids switch school in secondary. A lot of kids leave school. A lot of them come in. So for me, I think it was the combination of a lot of new people coming in.
Yeah.
My teachers had changed. So these teachers did not know I was stupid, you see. Like, they didn't know she was dumb. Like, they hadn't classified me.
Stop using that word. Why are you saying that?
Because it's in the past, you see. I'm a proud intellect now.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I didn't ever think of myself as stupid or dumb, but I was bullied a lot as a kid. But a lot of things changed for me when I entered secondary school. It was like a clean slate, Teachers would, and then subjects changed for me. I think one of the main things that happened was I now had the subject business studies, I had accounts, I had economics, and I did amazing in these subjects. And you don't have the subjects in primary school. You have science and you have geography. And
the ones that we don't even really want to study in the first place.
I wasn't really good at cramming. I'm not good at, my memory isn't that good. So, well, I shouldn't say this, but I kind of have this fish brain. I forget things really quickly.
Go fish.
Yeah, like there was this, in the beginning of time.
Yeah.
I met this goldfish, and she had amazing memory, and I had amazing memory, and then her memory got really, my memory got really, her memory got really bad, and then I felt bad for her, and then we switched memories, and then turns out the fault was hers, and it continued to spoil in mine, and I when we switched brains, mine too. So
okay,
yeah.
Not a bad thing, thing necessarily, because finally, the final results is quite different.
And I think for me, there's something I really want to stress. I think for me, it's the fear. I don't have fear of failure because I've seen enough failure. So
you've already been at the lowest, I guess.
My brother and sister have never come anything except for rank 1 in their whole lives.
Number 1, like in school, every single.
We don't display trophies at our house, but we have them boxed under my bed.
Because maybe there are too many. There's just too many.
There are too many. Certificates, they have files and files of them, okay?
Yeah.
But the thing at my house was, my mother never praised my brother or sister for coming first, and she never scolded me for coming last. Like, it didn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you were first or nothing. Like, it was okay. Like, it was just like another day. I came home. It was the same.
Yeah.
So for me, like, I'm not being afraid of failure, and I think that is what has helped me grow so much and do so much in my life.
Yeah.
And plus, God is nice. God is nice
to
me.
Yeah. Okay, now let's go fast forward to uni. Because we need just to understand all these things that maybe shaped you and shaped your character. What did you study in uni?
So I'm a chartered accountant.
Yeah, what?
A chartered accountant. Accounting, the people who do your books, accounts. Yeah.
But chartered, what does that mean?
That's the certificate, the qualification.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
Did you?
I studied accounting, so you have to do like 14 exams.
And
I just finished my last one.
Right. Oh, wait, the current.
So I did 12
recently?
of them. Yeah, I did 12 of them till the year 2015.
Yeah.
And then I did pageantry, and I had a lot of things going on in my life. And And then I did one exam a few years ago, and then this year when I came back from China, my mom's like, Finali, you're never going to end up doing this last exam.
If you
Because you
don't,
continue. Yeah, just do it now. Do it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
then, I finally did it.
but you finished?
I finished now.
But is it something that you actually liked doing, or did your parents want you to do that?
Accounts was one of the subjects I got an A star in. So I was
Oh.
really good at accounts.
Okay.
And by default, our whole family is really good at math.
Okay.
So yeah, but see, I started doing this in 2013.
Yeah.
So this is 2019. So a lot of things have changed
Oh
for
wait,
me.
you started doing
ACCA accounting
in
in 2013.
Okay.
I was almost done in 2015, and then
Okay.
I did pageantry and I did TV, and I did a lot of. There was a lot going on in my life, so I didn't finish. I just recently finished. So yeah.
You don't just finish a sentence like that when I'm sipping my tea. I'm just waiting for you to go on. Or have you lost your chain of thought?
Yes.
No, trust me, it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. But if you had an opportunity, do you think that's a job that you'd actually do it like? Because accounting meaning you're sitting somewhere on a desk. Look at you smiling, sitting on a desk. And dealing with those numbers like for probably like 10, 15 years. That's something that you'd see yourself doing.
I did a short internship in accounting in the year 2015, and I think that's when I realized that I cannot do this for the rest of my life, because I'm the kind of person who needs interaction with people.
Yeah.
I need new things. I'm somebody who gets bored really easily, and my attention span isn't the best of my...
Yeah.
Let's just say it's not my plus.
Yeah. It's not your
It's a
best.
weakness.
Like, yeah.
It's a weakness.
Yeah.
So, doing the exact same thing every day, sitting on this desk or in my cubicle, is not something I see in my future. So I think that's when I started making a few deliberate choices in my life and working towards something new and different. And I've done a lot of things. I was a presenter on TV. I've done the pageants, and I've worked with 2 or 3 NGOs till now, and I'm still working with one. So there's a lot I want to do in my life also, but let's just say I'm also a very secretive person, so my future is going to be a secret until next time.
You're not about
guys.
to share that with anyone?
No, I'm very secretive.
I had saved something that I wanted to show you. Oh my.
Please do.
I've forgotten. I don't even know where it is. Now I just have so many inappropriate things that I've saved.
Do not show me that.
Yeah. I mean, oh no. Here it is.
Found it?
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
Just tell me what was going in your mind. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Oh, please describe to the people who are listening.
Okay, so I can't really hear what I did in the video, but my smile was without my teeth.
Yeah.
And I will explain. I had braces, and I was on TV.
Yeah.
And
Was this your first time doing
one of the starting few episodes?
Yeah.
I think my first or second time. I'm not too sure. I don't. My
This
memory
like
isn't the
probably
best.
her first time maybe on TV or something.
My first
for
time
the
was
show?
on this very show. I had gone for an interview in December.
Yeah.
I was a guest, and they loved me so much. They asked me to come and
Oh wow.
become a host. See, that's how oh my God, I'm out of words now. But that's
That's how what?
that's how. I can't even say it right. I want to say, what is the word?
Which one?
Talkative? No, talk.
That's how
Talk.
you started
when
being
when somebody talks a lot, what's the word?
a nut job. No.
And that was all. It
No,
was nice
talkative.
knowing you guys.
No.
Talkative.
Talkative, and it just became talkative.
No, I was very talkative, and I think that's what they saw. I'm really comfortable around the
Yeah,
camera.
yeah.
So I had braces, and my producer had told me, don't mind the braces. It doesn't matter. It's okay. I mean, people get braces.
Yeah.
But I was so shy. I was like, how do I show my braces on TV? So I was smiling.
Yeah.
That was my smile all the time.
And now it makes sense because I'm just thinking like, why isn't she smiling the same way? Like, there's something different about that video. So that was like her first time before she started actually like being joined to be a co-host on a TV show in KTN. But how was your experience doing that? Now that you've mentioned it.
I loved it. Especially I loved the live shows because there was no editing. There was nothing like, okay, cut, start again.
Can't be briefed. It's just your personality.
I mean, you do have to be briefed and you do have to do your homework. But, you're in this energy high.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they tell you, okay, cut. And then the energy kind of drains out. And then they tell you, do it again.
Yeah.
So for me, live shows were like
the
amazing.
best.
But then we even did a few pre-recorded where we'd go to locations. Not my favorite. I
Why?
loved live shows more.
Yeah. Oh, because now you don't have to have those cuts. Okay, let's fake this
cuts,
expression again.
Or just say that again. But sometimes in the spur of the moment, some magic happens
Yeah.
and you cannot duplicate
You can't
the magic.
recreate that. You can't
Yeah.
recreate that. Are there any other just maybe odd jobs maybe that you've done you can remember in the past and
So when I was studying in Australia,
Yeah.
I used to work at this
Oh,
ice
wait,
cream place.
you skipped even the part where you studied in Australia. Come on now. I see all these questions. Were you doing the accounting in Australia?
So before I started doing the accounting, this is a bachelor's degree. So I was doing accounting, marketing, communication skills, and information systems.
And why are you skipping all why are you downplaying on all those things? So you got a degree in
Australia, and so we were talking about my job.
Oh yeah, okay, sorry.
So I
My
used
apologies, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all over the place, but I have so many
Yeah.
questions. Yeah, please proceed.
So I was working at this ice cream place called Wendy's, I think.
Ooh,
And so I can get your ice cream to go like proper swirly and proper, yeah. And I know how to make smoothies, and I know how to I know how to make everything there. So that's one of my odd jobs, I think.
Any other job that you've done? So apart from that's the one you can remember, working in a ice cream place.
I think nothing that just comes to me right now. Maybe in a while I'll just remember and I'll randomly
Oh,
tell
wow.
you.
Are they that many that you can't even keep track of?
I do a lot of things. I'm the kind of person who's I'm a thinker. I think a lot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm very I'm also the very spur of the moment kind of a person.
Oh, yeah,
So
if you want to do something, you can just.
like in 20 this is 19 so 2017 December,
Yeah.
I was planning to go visit my sister one of the days, so I went and got my UK visa, and we were like, okay, I'll come, I'll come sometime. And my visa came in today. I'm Skyping with my sister tomorrow,
Yeah.
and she's like, you know what, I'm getting tickets for the day after, come. So my brother's birthday was the next day. I celebrated his birthday. Next day I was on the flight and I was in the UK. So that is me for you.
Just random plans and you're just ready to go with it.
And then there are times when I wouldn't do something. I'd really think it through, and So I think it's really, I'm a very moody person.
Are you?
I think so.
Okay, let's not do that today though. Right?
Not like that. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
situational. Like
Oh,
there are
yeah.
times when I'm like, okay, I have to be very thorough with something. And there are times when I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's just do this.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Have you traveled a lot?
Yes. I've been to all 5 continents.
5.
We have 7. So which 2? Guess which 2 have I not been to?
Asia, Asia, of course, is a must, right?
I've just not been to the 2 poles.
North and South Pole.
Okay, so I've been to Asia,
Yeah.
Africa, obviously,
Yeah.
America,
Yeah.
Europe,
Yeah.
and Australia.
Oh yeah. Oh no. My apologies. I had forgotten about the continents.
When was the last time you went to school?
A very long time ago.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
But how would you say cause I'm just guessing even in the contribution to just shaping your personality, and even when you get to these beauty pageants and stuff, just how has travel influenced how you look at things, how you interact with people, and all those things? Because I'm guessing they really do come to play in just shaping your character.
I think it has such that I've understood that people are not aliens, or people are not people aren't different. A lot of times, I would meet somebody from, say, Finland or from Cyprus, and I'd be like, I don't know what to talk to them about. But end of the day, the thing is, we're all the same. I can sit down and talk to them about a chocolate, or I can sit down and we'd be talking about pizza, or we could be talking about the politics in China and Taiwan, because actually we are much more similar than we think we are.
Yeah.
And for me, it's opened my mind to a lot of possibilities, and also just the fact that I love traveling. It's one of my favorite things to do. My passport is what I'm going to frame one day, but it's something that kind of helps you grow as a person, because you learn to appreciate a lot of things, because you realize that you have a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
And you realize that I don't know how to put this in mere words, but you kind of really have to travel for your mind to like kind of open up it opens up in a wonderful way.
It's crazy because the reason I'm asking that it's because you see we have people like just even in Kenya who maybe do have the money, but they're not exposed to travel because they're afraid of like just taking that leap of faith. You see the way you're saying, I can wake up in the morning, the next day I'm on a flight to this and that place. But just that it's not instilled in them.
I think for me, I think it's a big part of traveling has to do with my mother.
Yeah.
Because ever since we were kids, she would be traveling for work, so she would be traveling every 2 or 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to love going to the airport, like and when
Oh,
we were
just
kids,
taking that trip, yeah.
Because you'd see giraffes and zebras actually crossing the road
Yeah,
back then, and it wasn't the
we had like a place where you can actually see the
them.
plane, like even take off and stuff. Yeah, I remember.
So and because my mom traveled a lot, and there would be times when we had planned our December holidays, and we are going to India tomorrow, and we all packed, and then my mom gets a call, and her parents want to come down, and she's like, okay, we are not going anymore. Now they are coming down.
Yeah.
Or one day it's Easter, and we've not planned anything, and my mom's like, you know what? Let's go to Malindi, or let's go to Nakuru, or just let's go to the national park. I've been to the national park on average like 12 times a year, because we get relatives, or when we are bored at home, we just go to the national park. That's our thing. So, but it doesn't matter if you travel abroad, whether you have the funds or not. I think the key is to travel, because even if you're in Kenya,
moving around, because we have so many spots in Kenya, right?
Spots it's not only the scenery, it's even the people you meet. You meet people from different classes, people from classes way higher than yours, people from classes way lower than yours. You learn to appreciate life. You learn that it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it's all about who you are as a person and what you're bringing to the table as a person, with your experiences, with your knowledge, and not about the social classes, or even what you learn about. You'd learn like the most crazy thing, like you'd see a child smiling, and your horrible day would just suddenly change, because you'd see like how somebody can still smile in a certain the kind of environment they are in,
being from a different situation, but they're still happy, and maybe you're thinking like, what am I complaining about, like,
or you're not happy about your situation, and you see somebody in a better situation that you wanted to be in, but they are not happy, and you realize,
true.
Don't need to be in a certain situation to be happy or sad. And I mean, you just learn so much about life in general. So even if you don't travel like around the world, or to or even a different country, just travel until wherever you can go. I love going to the national park, because you'll meet people from all walks of life.
True.
You'll meet small kids from school trips, and you'll meet somebody who's come from Korea, or you'll meet somebody who's from Zanzibar, or
the Maasais who are there, just
I mean, I'm born here. For me, Maasais are like, okay, I know.
Yeah, you
I
see
know
them
that.
every other single day.
I can even do the jump. Like, okay, what's so special?
Nice. So, just since we've mentioned just a bit of travel, like, what are some of the things you'd say are like your hobbies, perhaps,
so
that we don't know of? And I'll twist it into something else as well. There's something that you have, like, I don't know if you'll know and get this answer, but
try.
just think about it. There's something that you have in common with a current title holder, a UFC fighter. Yes, world champion, UFC fighter.
The fact that we're both female?
No.
No? Okay. Is she
He's a
female?
guy.
Oh,
He's a guy.
It's a guy. Okay.
It's called Idris Dasanya.
Well, at least
He's
the
Nigerian.
name is not in common now.
Yeah.
Well, we're both Africans then.
We're both Africans, but it's just something else, hobby-wise.
Oh, the martial arts. No. Okay, traveling? No. What other hobby of mine did you pick
travel.
up?
If you're a champ, if you're crowned, of course you'll travel.
What hobby do I have that you know and I don't know?
No, Avatar?
Airbender?
Yeah.
Ah!
Do you know his nickname? Like on the UFC, he's called the Style Bender.
Oh.
Yes. Did you know that?
No.
Did some research, and he even does like those special moves, like the the Avatar moves, like actually in the ring. Yeah.
I have told my brother I'm going to name his kid Pookie.
Yeah.
Pookie is the pet that Avatar has.
Yeah.
And we named my fish Pookie and another one Momo.
Oh yeah.
And we named the first car we got Pookie.
Okay, now I'm losing. I'm
I'm a
confusing
huge
like all the
fan of
characters.
Avatar.
But yeah, you see, that's so crazy because I saw that, and he like actually is obsessed with Avatar, and that's why he actually changed his name to like Style Bender. I think it's Style Bender or Airbender. I think one of the two.
Ah.
But he's actually the world champ. He was just crowned like I think 2-3 weeks ago.
I'm actually obsessed about a lot of things. Harry Potter,
Mm-hmm.
Avatar,
Mm-hmm.
Korean dramas,
Really?
Chinese dramas, Taiwanese, Filipino, English, French. I love watching world cinema. For me, I think learning about different cultures is so important. So most people dream of having like a Europe tour.
Yeah.
My dream is a tour of Asia because I want to learn more about culture, not buildings.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm somebody who really like wants to know why something started, what was the root, or what's the history behind this.
Yeah.
I love
The
colors,
people involved and
colors
everything.
and colorful, and yeah, it's really yeah. I'm obsessed about a lot of things. One of my hobbies is eating chocolate.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have in a month finished 4 500 grams or half liter bottles of Nutella.
Oh, that's not healthy.
Yeah, I know that.
That's not healthy. That's
So
not
my
healthy.
my whole family is also known as Finali's food police. They police
They're like, "Yo,
the food
stop
I'm
it."
eating. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I love learning new things. Last year I had enrolled for a K-pop class, so I learned some K-pop dancing, not singing because I'm a terrible singer, but I love singing in karaoke until my brother and his friends or somebody comes to tell me to shut up and to stop. I normally sing. I love
Interesting.
singing, but I have a very bad voice in singing. I have a very hoarse voice or a very
No, you have a nice voice. Maybe I haven't heard you
Not in
singing,
singing, yeah,
but if
no,
I
no.
hear you singing, I'll
yeah. I don't think we want to do that. I think let's be friends for a longer time.
Before,
I think 2-3 hours is too short for me to have you run away. Yeah. I actually have a lot of hobbies. I try out a lot of things. Also, when I was in school, I was actually every year I try a different club. So I was in karate club, I was in piano, I was in yoga, I was in MUN, EMUN, Interact. I practically did everything. I did needlework, chess.
And this thing that you're talking about, that you know, martial arts, is it an actual thing or is it fiction?
No, it's not
Is it
fiction.
is it in your head? Because I wanted to say that as well because of like the style bender.
I in 2012, before I went to Australia, so when I was studying, I was told that the student visa takes sometimes up to 8 months. So we applied for the year starting after 8 months. I got my visa in 3 days. So I had 8 free months doing nothing. I wasn't sitting at home worrying. I wasn't running around documents. I had 8 months to do nothing. So I enrolled for an acting class in India at Anupam Kher's Actor Prepares. So he has done over 500 Bollywood movies in Hollywood and stuff. He's
Wow.
like this huge actor. And
Wow.
so I had enrolled there, and part of for a whole month I learned martial arts, mainly self-defense, which every girl needs to know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I
I don't know why
dancing.
every girl needs to learn that, but you know.
Self-defense. Why not?
Oh,
You
yeah,
need to
okay.
learn how to defend
yeah,
yourself.
Yeah, true.
And then I did dancing, and then I learned yoga, and then I learned theater. So I love theater. I think that's why I'm so good with the camera, and I think that's why I love the camera. It's kind of
Yeah.
something I really like.
That's why I needed you in the podcast, you see?
I learned voice modulation, so I know how to, like, if my throat goes, I know how to talk from my tummy. Like they teach you all these things, and we used to every Friday we used to go through like really amazing movies, and so we'd go through something like something that's won like an Oscar, and then we'd go through something like Lion King, which was a coming of age in animation. So it's like, it also opened my mind to a lot of world cinema, and I think that's where I got it from for me. And then
And
Yeah.
I think first of all, we'll go on. And I think first of all, this is why now you guys understand why she's Miss World Kenya and why she had to go to represent us, because she's talking about all these different things, and people don't people don't know all these things about you.
yeah,
When we see you on Instagram, you don't post so many videos, apart from when you were in Miss World. You don't post any other videos.
Well, I was supposed to. It was
Why
part
are you
of my
putting
job
us on a
description.
detox? Why are you putting us on a detox? Hold on. But yeah, you're talking about just how you don't really share a lot on your social media.
So I would share
Or
a lot.
the videos,
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I'm a very private person, a little more secretive. I like to keep like my life kind of to myself, unless
Yeah.
I really have to share something. And although I treat everyone as family, and I want you guys to know, but for me, I'm a very curious person, so I want to know more about you guys. I want to know more about what's out there in the world, less about me just talking about what's happening in my life. I feel that's very vain, very it's a lot of vanity, I think, just to
Yeah.
constantly talk about yourself. And it's something I want to kind of stay away from. It's not my thing, so yeah.
Yeah, I think we had enough of that during Miss World.
Yeah.
You fed us a lot with that.
Yeah.
But you had mentioned something about this paragliding thing.
Yes.
Somehow, maybe it was off camera. Let's just put it that way. Let's put it that way. It was off camera. Yeah, just tell me about that paragliding experience, because all these things just shape who you are.
So we had gone for paragliding with my family, and we climbed up there on horseback, which already I was panicking because I don't like sitting on horses or camels, or I don't like animals having to bear my weight.
Yeah.
But we were climbing on top of
How
a
much?
mountain.
How
or a
much
hill.
do you weigh, first of all?
40 kilos.
You're 40 kgs. You're 40 kgs. Okay, wow. Okay, okay. Please continue with the
But I
conversation,
don't think it
so that we
matters.
see how she's torturing the horse that she's talking
I
about.
don't think it matters what your weight is. I mean, like, no animal was brought on earth to kind of have to bear your weight. Like, they have their own lives going on. It's a form of torture for them, because it's not really, they weren't built to be carrying people or to be carrying anything of that sort. One of the reasons why I'm also vegetarian. I don't think I think we all should live harmoniously, like not eating each other or
I agree.
on top of it.
I agree.
Yeah.
But it's gonna take
So-
me a while to change, but I
It's
agree.
okay. It's okay. And so we climbed on top of the mountain or hill. I don't remember very well. And
Yeah.
when we're up there, now the horses go back down to bring like the next batch or whatever. And everyone went first because I'm too scared to go in the beginning. So I'm like, you go first, you go first. And I'm the last one left. It starts snowing. It's almost snowing now. And I'm like, I don't want to go anymore. Like, take me back. And they're like, we can't take you back. This is the only way down.
Yeah.
And we tried taking
Plus,
off
they need the
once.
money, though. They need the money as well. They need the money.
They don't get paid if I don't
Yeah,
take off.
yeah.
So the first time I try and I fall down because the winds have kind of slowed down because it started snowing. And I'm crying and it's, I'm like, I don't want to do it again. They're like, no, let's just do it again. And they do it the second time and we fall. We don't take off. And now the third time we finally take off, and it's like this amazing feeling, like you're in heaven, like like the angels, like
Yeah,
it's bliss.
it's like,
you're like floating, like zero gravity. You're floating,
Yeah.
you're going, and that moment doesn't last very long because the next thing I look down and I see somebody on a horseback, and I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna go fall on top of that. That's horse, person, and then me and another person and the parachute. And I was like, no, I'm panicking. And that's
Yeah.
the photo I have at my house because they take a picture of you just before you land.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like,
So wait, but do you land on the ground or?
I land on the ground because obviously the person who's paragliding with me is skilled and knows not to do that. But
Yeah.
the immature that I was and the all that energy and all that. Yeah, so I was so panicky. I would do that again, but I'm no daredevil. Like I'm super scared. I'm scared. I'm a very scared person. I don't do like roller coaster rides. And we went Thailand once, and my brother and sister really forced me to go on a roller coaster, and
Yeah.
that thing is the hell. It is like the hell, like incarnated, like they brought hell on earth and they put it in this ride in Thailand. So normally roller coasters go
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This one, you go up.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm expecting to drop down, mentally prepared.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
drops backward,
So
then
so
goes
you-
back up, down, backward all the way. It messed with my whole brain. I came off and I'm dizzy and I want
Yeah.
to puke, and I'm like, I'm never riding another ride. You guys choose. I'm the adult who rides the kids
Yeah.
rides. Yeah, that's me.
Just to be safe, right?
To be safe and to be alive.
But you see, it's very.
Considered suicide when you don't do that.
Oh no, true. I wouldn't do any of those things anyway.
You wouldn't?
No. No, I like myself way too much. I like myself way too much.
3 times before I cross the road because
Yeah.
I value my life and I value getting late
Yeah.
and being there alive
Yeah.
more.
More. So, I mean, you've mentioned all these things, and it's very interesting because now, just to me, like just listening to all these different stories, and I've never had them on TV, I've never had them on radio, I haven't seen you talk about them like on your Instagram or anything. So it's just interesting because it shows how they've shaped you as a person, and I think that was like a very big contribution to, like, just the selection of the winners for Miss World Kenya, and I think that actually played a very big role.
I really do hope so. I think one of the reasons why I feel more open today, I feel I'm here as Finali Galaiya more than as as a title holder.
Yeah.
I feel because Finali Galaiya, the Miss World, is it's one part of my life and it's one part of my personality. It's not my whole life. So when you meet Finali,
Yeah.
there's so much more to Finali than there is to all that.
Which we don't get to see, and that's why I kept on telling you, this podcast is necessary. Exclusive. Things you've never heard before, things you didn't know about her, and now you get to know them firsthand from her. So
Say my name.
Finali.
Okay, you're saying it good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how I mastered that pronunciation?
How?
Because I was like, oh, it makes sense. I'll just say, like, during the introduction, I'll say, finally she's here. Now I'll say, finale.
During all my pageants,
Yeah.
they kept me at the end so that they could say, finally, we have finale.
And I can't blame them. It's the safest way.
When I was in school and they were teaching us French, my
Yeah.
French teacher started calling me finally, finale.
Yeah.
Because of the French word finale. And it had entered my brain so much. I'm in IT class and typing my name and I type finale instead of finale because it had become another part of me. But,
Yeah.
I've grown to love my name so much because nobody can ever forget it.
No, you can't forget it.
Because they joke about it, they
Yeah.
relate it to other things.
Yeah.
So nobody ever forgets me.
I had a hard time, but how do you pronounce the second name?
Galaiya.
Galaiya. Okay. Now let's do this. This is a very interesting part of the podcast. How do you pronounce my second name?
You didn't pronounce mine. I pronounced mine.
Galaiya.
So you have to pronounce
Galaiya.
yours.
Finali Galaiya.
You have to pronounce yours and I will duplicate it.
No, Finali Galaiya.
Finali Galaiya. Is
Okay.
that right?
Okay, so let's say my name is John.
John.
Te.
Te.
Say the second name.
No, you say it
You
first.
know it.
I'll
You got it.
I'll
You got it.
duplicate
You got it.
I'll duplicate
Tele.
it. Tele.
Telewa.
Televa.
Telewa.
Televa.
Telewa.
Televa.
Yes. Yes, you're almost there. You're almost there. You're almost there. You almost have it. You almost have it. So, but let's jump into just the modeling world, which is now a huge representation or part of your life, your day-to-day life. And that's what you still, it's like, it's not a chip on your shoulder, but that's just a title that's been put on you. And even if you pass it to the next person, it's still gonna be,
Yeah.
it's still gonna remember you as Miss World Kenya
2018,
2018, 2019. Yeah, so how was what made you decide to, just apart from just be satisfied with just the Miss India World Kenya?
Miss India Kenya.
Miss India Kenya, right?
Miss India Worldwide Kenya or
Yeah,
Miss India Kenya.
yeah. What made you just move from that and say, like, you know what, I want to pursue or take this to the next level and actually try out for the Miss World? And did you have like any conflicting thoughts that, maybe people might not understand that you're actually Kenyan, because now maybe you'd have to explain to them?
Well, that thought never came to me
Yeah.
because I've grown up here and nobody ever questioned it.
Yeah.
So for me, the thing was there's an age limit. So I told myself, oh no, I'm turning, this is last year. So
Yeah.
I was still 23 when I applied and then I turned 24 a week after I won.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, in the history of Miss World Kenya, there's never been a winner who's more than 25 years old. So if I want to apply, I should apply now and try now. I was very hesitant. Like, what if I lose? And then, people will be like, oh, she thought she was so much and she won this title. But look,
Yeah.
when it came to this one, she,
Yeah.
this is where she faced actual competition and,
Yeah.
she didn't do it or stuff like that. But for me, the reasoning was 5 years down the line, if I want to do this, I can't.
You can
like-
only do it then.
I can't go back in time and become younger or, fit a certain criteria.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of also a risk taker. I was like, you know what? Instead of canceling this out for myself, I will at least try.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned earlier, I'm not afraid of failure. I've never been afraid of failure. I welcome
Yeah.
failure because it teaches you a lot of things, and it at least shows that you tried.
Yeah.
So I took part, and how glad am I that I did.
Yeah. That was just very interesting. But how was the process? How was the process? Were there, the reason that I'm asking this, like, were there other girls who looked like you, or did that
So
ever
there
did
was
that
one
ever
more?
did that ever like just
Not really, because I realized that maybe,
and how are the other girls to you? Because I'm sure you've noticed, like, when you walk in a room, if it's a beauty pageant where it's not Miss India, you're definitely like different. So I'm sure you realize that, like, once you walked in the room, you're like, oh wow, okay, this is very different. But
No.
No?
I think everyone was super friendly.
yeah,
And at the end of the day, I'm somebody who believes in preparation and hard work. So I love dancing, but I'm not a good dancer. So I would go home and I'd practice a lot. We would be training over there the whole day. They would be training us every day. And every night I'd be soaking my legs in hot water because we'd be wearing like these 6-inch heels.
the heels.
And the dancing and so much going on the whole day. And at the end of the day, I think it's all about how much hard work you put in and the determination you have. Also, my family really supported me. Like,
Yeah.
they were really always like there at my beck and call, or whenever I needed help, I'd call them and be like, okay, I'm so, or I'd say I want to give up, and then they'd be like, no, you've done so much so far. And
Oh, the
they'd
times that
always-
you actually were thinking of.
Yeah, sometimes you're just too tired. Like, what, I
You're
don't
too
want to do this. I don't want to
exhausted,
go
like, yeah.
tomorrow. Leave it.
It's too much.
Leave it. So, that kind of a thing. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's like this dream come true for me, because it's something like it's the biggest title I could ever get. It's like the biggest thing I could do. I'm on Google, I'm on Wikipedia, I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
My name is like now there, eternal. And since I was a kid, I've wanted to publish my biography, and I'd already like decided the title, and so
And it's
unconsciously
already
I
been
knew,
done for you. It's done.
unconsciously I knew I'm doing great things.
Yeah.
This is not the greatest thing I'm doing. I've decided, like, I won't let this become the top of my
There is more?
mountain or peak. I want to do more. I mean, I'm in my 20s.
Yeah,
like, there's
of course,
so much
of
I can
course.
still
Yeah,
do. I have
yeah.
the hunger.
Yeah.
And I lost train of thought again.
We're talking about your experience in the Miss World, but let me take you back on, just maybe set you back on track with something that it's in hand to what you were talking about. The training that you're going through, because you mentioned what's her name, Gigi.
Yes.
Yeah. So
She was
Gigi,
my catwalk trainer.
She was your catwalk trainer.
Yes.
That's very Gigi.
And she was also the judge for my very first pageant, Miss Attitude East Africa.
Really?
Which was for contestants all over East Africa, and she was a judge, and I was in awe. I would just be looking at her like this fangirl, and then now here she was training me for my international pageant. So the Nairobi is small, and the world goes around. Like, I feel all the dots in my life have been
good
connecting.
job, Gigi. Good job, Gigi.
Thank you.
How was it? Was the training crazy? Because I know you're supposed to do, what do you call it? Were you used to working with like those proper heels all the time? Because you've already coming from other
with
competitions.
smaller ones, like say 4 inches,
Yeah.
5 inches, 6
Yeah.
inches was a bit of a hassle for me. And then after I won, they were training me in 7 and 8. So I even have like up to 8-inch heels in my house.
And you can walk with
And-
them comfortably?
Yes. Let's say in the 4-inch ones I can
Yeah.
run, 6 I can maybe jog, but the 8 inches I'll just walk. Yeah.
But it's just training crazy.
It is. But I think at the end of the day, anything that gets you recognized never comes out of sheer luck.
Yeah,
or
it's not
out
easy,
Of,
yeah.
there's obviously a lot of hard work behind the scenes, and it's normally not seen. People think it's so easy. You just have to dress up and go, but it's not. It's not that easy.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's a lot of other things that factored in, things that I've been doing throughout my life. Like I never used foul language my whole life since I was a kid. Like
Ever?
never, because I was
Well,
the oldest sister.
well, I'll tell you what. You can do it on this podcast.
But why would I?
No, I'm not. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. You've never. But
No.
that's so you've never.
No, because I was
Even
this
like
older
behind the
sister.
scenes, just like,
Never, because I was this
Wow.
older sister, so I
Yeah.
knew I was, I had a
Setting
sister and
an
a brother
example,
looking
yeah.
up to me. So, well, they still don't abuse in front of me. Nobody, in fact, my friends, I've got like this bubble around me. Like nobody uses foul language around me. Nobody cracks sexist jokes around me, which they shouldn't be cracking anywhere, by the way.
Yeah.
And nobody does a lot of things around me because
Yeah.
I maintain this thing where I have certain things like don't do these things, please.
just
So-
don't do them around you.
Well, don't do them in general, but if you
Oh,
cannot
yeah,
stop
yeah.
yourself in general,
Yeah,
just stop in
just
front of me.
Don't do it in front of me.
Yeah, so,
Because they know what you represent and what you're all about.
So I feel like a lot of these things, like I very early in life started being a role model, and that kind of helped me because as a Miss World, there are a lot of people listening to you. There are a lot of people who want to mimic you and do what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing things in the right direction, there's no point of you doing these things because then you're teaching people the wrong things.
Yeah.
My winning question.
Oh, please.
The
let's
question
go
I was
through it.
asked during the Miss World Kenya pageant
Yeah.
was, what do you think about, oh my God, I can't remember it exactly now, but what do you think about role models today or something like, no. Oh boy, I've forgotten it. I
Oh,
can't
wow.
believe this.
Wow.
But it was something in
The
that
one-
context.
You sounded really excited when you're about to say this to me.
As disclaimer, goldfish brain.
Yeah, you already said it. You already said it on the podcast, so I mean, people will
But I
understand.
have a video of it somewhere at home, so I will I'll send
We
it
can
to you.
you can send it to me, and then we can pop it
send
up
it
in
to
the
you.
video
Yes.
to explain it.
Like, here it is.
What do you think was the one thing that made you stand out from the rest of the girls? Just in general, because like there's so many beautiful women in Kenya, and I'm guessing like everybody who qualifies to be there, like they have like all this like background. They've participated in so many other like just competitions as well. So what do you think made you like really stand out to be crowned?
For me, I started modeling in 2011 when I was in Standard 11 in Form 4.
Yeah.
And then I had done like Kenya Fashion Week, Nairobi Fashion Market, and I had started modeling
You've
very
done like
early.
all those, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I had entered the industry way earlier. You can't just wake up one day and be like, okay, I want to go
It's
do
hard, yeah.
something, because you need to know what it calls for. A lot of people just see the outside and they see the nice packaging and all that.
Yeah.
When you're in the industry for so many years is when you realize that, okay, there's hard work, you have to be committed, you have to do things, and you learn a lot of things, you meet a lot of people. It's actually a very small industry, so
Yeah.
almost everyone kind
Knows
of knows
it,
somebody,
yeah, knows
or
it.
you'll know somebody who both of you know or something. Like we found out, we both know Gigi. Yeah, see? Small world.
Yeah.
So for me that, and also I'm somebody who reads a lot, so I feel I keep tab on what's happening in the world. I every morning I wake up, if I don't have a newspaper, I'm reading online. I'm reading what's happening in the world, what's happening in Kenya. I want to know what's happening. And in fact, when I asked, after the whole pageant got over, and a week later I met with the organizers and I asked them, what made me win? Because I
Yeah.
want to know. It helps
Yeah.
me know this is your strength, this is your weakness,
Yeah.
you need to improve this.
Yeah.
And they told me it was the question and answer and how I spoke and how, so for me, it's also about my speaking skills, knowing what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And if I do not know something, I will genuinely ask about it. If I
Me
find
too.
out I do not
Me
know
too.
about something, Google is my best friend. I'll go home, I'll find out.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid of telling you, sorry, I
Like,
don't
yo,
know. You know,
Yeah,
like-
I've had so many big words that you're using, and I keep telling you like, yo,
Yeah.
please explain. Because listen, I don't act here like a fool. Like I just nod my head, and then when you ask me, I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
exactly. Like
So,
I
yeah.
want to learn more, and that helps me because at the end of the day, when you know more, you can teach more. You're showing more. So I think for me, it was the question and answer that made me stand out most. My knowledge about the world and my how do I put this? my understanding of the world or my perception.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, all those things that you've mentioned, even from like just childhood and everything, like your way of approaching a lot of things is very different, open-minded, you're curious, all these things come to play. And I'm just guessing once you put like in a certain platform, they will really like actually elevate you. And even when you're in an international platform, they still come to play. And that's why, when you're there, okay, we'll get to that point. Let me just not rush this conversation. But when you did they get to like top 3 before they announced like who was going to be like the winner?
So
I guess. No, 5.
Top 11 first, and then top
5 or 6.
3.
Top 3.
Yeah. It's because
Yeah.
there's so much of a rush happening. I
Yeah.
really do not remember a lot that happened that day because
It was crazy. Like you're in another just mind frame.
When I reach home, I was like, okay, what just happened? Like, you don't believe it because
Yeah.
you're scared, you're anxious, you're excited, there's so much happening. My legs were shaking under my gown, like literally shaking.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of things. But please repeat your question. I forgot.
Chain of thought. Here we go again.
Sorry.
No.
What did you
It's
ask?
all good. But here's the thing. I can tell you for sure my chain of thought as well. Once you say that, mine just flies away as well. But I remember we were talking about just how you stood out from other people. But let me mention just I asked what made you stand out
Yes.
from the rest of the models to win. And my next question was, when you were there, just in that, I was asking like the top.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the top contestants. Were you like top 3? You said
Yes.
top 5.
I mean, I had to
No,
be in
top
all
5.
the tops
No,
so that I
wait.
could reach number 1.
Before they call like the first runners, second runners up, first runners up. Did you do like the top 5?
So they
Or
did top
it's
3. Oh yeah,
Before top
5.
3. Okay,
Top
yeah.
5.
So when you were at top 5, in your head, did it cross your mind that I could actually win this, or you were just there thinking like, what, I'm not so sure, but let's just go with it. But
So-
how was that just like how did you process that? Because I know that's like the worst part to be in, because you're like at least if I was like being eliminated, I'd rather be eliminated like true.
My deal with God
Yeah.
before I enter the stage for pageants.
Yeah.
Either I win
Yeah.
or nothing.
Yeah. Those.
So
Yeah.
always, and it's
Yeah.
working. It's
Yeah.
working for me. But when they were like top 5 and then they were announcing the names,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, when they announce the winner, I'm gonna clap and I'm gonna smile because I do not want to be a sore loser. I don't want to be seen as somebody who feels bad for somebody else's victory.
Yeah.
So I was mentally preparing myself for being a very graceful loser.
Give the hug.
I didn't think of the hug. I was thinking of the clap because
Yeah.
they have to go for their sash and for their crown. So these
Oh
are the
yeah,
hugging.
yeah.
But I was mentally preparing myself for like, okay, I will clap, and I'll smile because I'm not going to be the sour losers. I'm going to be happy for somebody else. I'm not going to be like one of those people who spoils their face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you didn't know, you didn't expect
When they
it.
announced
But
my name,
when
I
they
didn't
announced,
move. The girl
yeah.
behind me.
Wait, what?
I
Wait,
was
what?
Like this. The girl behind me, and then she slightly pushed me in front, and then I realized, they called my name because they could just say, the final winner, and I would hear finale because they said finale.
Oh
I
yeah,
wouldn't
the
be
finale.
Sure. I would never be sure.
Oh yeah.
It was just crazy. It was crazy, and
Yeah.
this is a very funny story. Okay.
Oh, tell me.
So when they were crowning me, there were like tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
Those weren't tears of happiness. The crown was so tight. And I literally quote this because that was the moment I realized
Yeah.
that this is going to be a painful, responsible journey. Like this pain is going to constantly remind me
Yeah.
that I have to be a responsible person. I'm supposed to be a role model. Like this is not going to be pretty. It's going to be heavy, and it's going to be,
Yeah.
So at that moment, like all that was going through my head. Like,
Yeah. So the crown was actually just hurting
It's
you, but
heavy.
yeah. Oh, it's heavy and
is
it was tight a
heavy.
bit as well.
Yeah. I think because my
Your
head
head is
size
tight,
is different
so
than the
it has
winner
to,
who
like-
had put it in.
Yeah.
So our heads were different. So, and we had to have it on my head.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my hair was open, so it's slipping, but it went well.
But it was like a really, and I can remember for when you were crowned, because like for Miss World Kenya, they didn't like do a lot of social media.
Yeah, I think 'cause
Thing?
it's more of an international platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So locally, they didn't like really do the, what do you call it, like publicizing a lot.
I wouldn't know
Maybe on
much.
social media.
Uh-huh.
But I know. Did you notice how Miss Universe Kenya last year was?
I'm not sure I was around.
Oh, it's the same time that you were going actually
Yes,
to
yes.
represent. Oh.
Yes.
So yeah, so whatever I want to talk about won't make any sense. But I'm just saying, like, for most of us didn't know like the process was going on.
Uh-huh.
We just saw like the final
Results.
So for a lot of people, now then the first question would be like, is she Kenyan first of all?
I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah, because that's another thing that I have to ask you. So hold on. So yeah, the question was, the levels are good. You can't take any chances. Yeah, the question was, did Kenyans understand that you're actually, because like I said, we didn't go through the whole process of like selection, so we didn't know what was exactly going on. We just saw the winner has been announced, and this is Finali. She's the Miss World Kenya title holder right now, and that was it. So we didn't see anything else, and a lot of people didn't know, like, did they understand? And you're saying even for you didn't notice that until
So after I
Yeah.
won, I went home. I Skyped with both my brother and my sister,
yeah.
and do you want to do this after the happy birthday song is over?
Yes. Even for me, I was like, should we wait?
Yeah.
It's done. It's done.
So I'll
Yeah.
start talking again.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So for me,
Happy
as soon as
birthday to. No, I'm sorry. My apologies. I'm playing.
you'll have to give me both your kidneys at this
I'm
rate.
so sorry. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. On the day I won, I went home and immediately Skyped with my brother and sister, and then
Yeah.
I switched off my phone,
Yeah.
locked my room, and went to sleep for the next 24 hours. I was sleeping. The weather here was really cold. It was August, September, so it was
Yeah.
rainy, and I had fallen sick. So even while the pageant itself, every time I was going backstage, I was having some medicine, going back on stage, having because otherwise I wouldn't be able to talk.
talk.
I was there like that, and I go
Smiling.
and I go back because I was coughing.
Yeah.
But for me, for the next few days, I had like interview requests, and I was just trying to I was fine. I was Miss World Kenya. It was like such a big thing for me, and I was figuring out, okay, what's next now? What training do I need to do? What do I need to prepare for the Miss World finals? Because I didn't have enough time. I had about a month
Yeah.
before I had to go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
I'm
It's all
hitting
good.
it.
It's all good. It's all
Okay.
good.
So
She uses her hands, like I'm talking, a lot. You don't get to see that on the beauty pageantry, but yeah. Uh-huh.
Why I was having an interview with one of the journalists one of the days, me and Mr. World, Kula.
Yeah.
And that's when she told me, Finali, what's your reply to this? And I'm like, wait a second, what am I replying to? And then
Yeah.
she opened her phone and showed me all the articles and
Twitter and maybe
on
all those.
everything. And,
Yeah.
and then he told me, Finali, it's been going on in these groups and everything. And I realized nobody really, nobody comes and tells you that people are talking shit about you. And nobody talks shit about you on your face.
Yeah.
But for me, I realized that, okay, nobody was pointing at me directly.
Yeah.
They were pointing at my skin color.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a personal attack.
Yeah,
you
it's
see.
not
so
like-
I didn't take it personally.
Yeah.
At the same time, I realized it was also out of ignorance, not out of hate or something.
Yeah.
It was just that people didn't know.
They
people
didn't know.
understand.
They didn't understand because they're like, what?
Exactly. And during that time, whichever interviews I was giving the example of Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Because he went there and he made something, and it had nothing to do with his skin color.
Yeah.
We shouldn't let our skin color get in the way, because in a way, this would be a form of racism then.
Yeah.
In a way, it's not right to judge somebody by what they look like. I'm here, I'm born in Kenya, I
Yeah.
know no home apart from Kenya.
Yeah.
And this is how it
Kenya
is.
is the only thing you know, so that's crazy. But I'll also say this: I just didn't know. I didn't understand. I was like, wow. And then the first thing that came in my head, I'm like, what's gonna happen this year? Bleaching cream is gonna go skyrocket in this country.
Well, I don't think it should.
No, I'm
because-
just saying, but that's me speaking from my ignorant point of view, because I didn't understand. And that's why, even if you noticed, I started reaching out to you after you were
But
you were
see,
crowned, because I really wanted to communicate, but then you had so much going on, there's no way I've gotten an interview, so that wasn't gonna happen. But I understand, because if you see, even if you go to my Instagram, I have a very diverse group of friends. I have white, Indians, Asians. I have a very diverse. So I was I really want to understand, because we didn't see the process. We didn't see the process of you coming in, you're going through all this training and stuff, and I think it can be mistaken, because
I think the thing with a pageant like Miss World is
Yeah.
it's not about what you look like.
it's not.
It's not. It's all about it's the work you're doing in terms of charity. It's how responsible you are and your ability to become, or how you are already a role model. It's your speaking skills. It's how you present your country to the world. When I actually went for Miss World, I won the tourism award. I won multimedia. I was in the top for my Beauty with a Purpose, which is the charity work. So I have this trophy at home, and I have this
Yeah.
medal, and I have all these things at home. And at the end of the day, I did the best I could to represent our country, and that is what's required of everyone. At the same time, a pageant like Miss World has come under a lot of scandals in Kenya, especially. Last year's winner, the winner before me, there were articles on the internet, and it was really bad because people were pointing fingers at her for being too dark.
Now you see, that's crazy.
So you see, when there's somebody who is too dark, people are pointing fingers, and then when there's somebody who's like me,
Yeah.
well, I'd say yellow,
Yeah.
Asian,
Yeah.
and they would point fingers, and it's not fair, because what people are doing is you are directly basing judgment on what you see.
Yeah.
Let us stop judging people for what they look like, and let's try to find out who these people are, and then reserve your judgment for
Yeah.
that. And that was a huge reason why I had so many videos, and I was so
Yeah.
much into social media, because I decided
people to see.
a fight is not going to solve
Yeah.
this, and ignoring this is not
Yeah.
going to solve this. All I can do is show people the hard work I'm doing, and what I can do, and show people that I am who I am, and I'd let people decide for themselves whether or not I'm worthy.
And
And I think
I
they
was
have.
so happy when you started posting those videos, because I was like, yes, because this now makes more sense. And I'll tell you why, because I was doing videos for Miss Universe then. So what they did is they decided to they reached out to me, because I do video content, and they were like, what, we'd want to document this in 1 minute segments the way you normally do on your Instagram. So what they did is they did from the turnout of 120 girls, they documented that process till top 5. So even if you didn't meet these girls in person, I think by the time you got to top 15, you knew their characters, you had seen how they talk and everything. So I think part of what we're saying is just people didn't know. It was a shock factor to them, because you are the first
Yes,
Indian descent,
Indian-Kenyan.
Indian-Kenyan descent to represent Kenya
Yes.
in so you understand, and Kenyans with the confusion. Anything that they don't understand, they immediately just start rambling and everything. But you are actually the best qualified person for that position.
Thank you.
Yes.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
For me, you see, for this pageant, the auditions had started a year earlier, and over
Yeah.
1,000 people had auditioned
1,000.
at Two Rivers.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
And then, but the auditions were for that year, but the pageant couldn't
Oh,
happen
was
that
ac-
year
yeah.
because something else happened. So they used the contestants from the previous year, and they held the pageant for 2017, a really small one. So in 2018, which is last year, for the thousands who are auditioned, now this is when we did the pageant. So while it was big scale and it was out there, the problem became the time frame when it became so long that people forgot about it. Yeah.
So it's the shock value.
It's the shock value, and it's
people
also
don't
what
and
makes
people
news.
and here's the thing. If let's say you don't have Indian friends, white friends, Asian or Somali friends, people who are slightly different from you, you wouldn't understand. So for them, they just saw the picture and then they're like, this is Miss World Kenya. And they're like, what? She can. First of all, they don't even understand how you're Kenyan. So I don't know. Did you have to address that on a lot of press runs, or you decided, or did it just affect you mentally because you're like, yo,
Not really. I think when I started my job at KTN and when I was doing the TV, I had already, we had this segment we had started called Asia Art, where we were trying so that we wanted more people to be involved in the Indian-Kenyan community.
understand?
Because you see, the Kenyan community is very tight in Kenya. And the thing is, we wanted to bring the camera in, or we wanted somebody to bring everyone in Kenya into this community and to understand how we
Yeah.
like everyone else.
Yeah.
We are the same. It's just that our culture is a little different. Our religion is different, and
Yeah.
we eat different food. Like I'm vegetarian, but that's because my parents were vegetarian and their parents were vegetarian. And
Yeah.
you know, there are a lot of things we pass down, and there's no denying that I'm an Indian Kenyan. I'm
Yeah.
not a binary. You cannot be like, okay, no. You know, when I go to India, they don't think of me as an Indian. They think of me as a person who's come from
What?
Kenya. Yeah, because I do not know their lingo. I don't speak like them.
Oh,
I cannot
yeah.
read the Indian languages. I can speak.
Yeah, but you
The
can't.
only language I can read and write is English.
Oh wow.
I'm learning Japanese and
So-
all these other languages now, but it's just harder for me. So you know, it's like this. There's a poem I really used to like in school called "The Unknown Girl," and it resonates with me a lot because you know, you feel like you don't belong anywhere.
Yeah, because if you're going to India, you still have a problem, like just
They
fitting
don't-
in perfectly.
You can't.
And can they tell from just you speaking, or?
They can tell with the way we dress, the way we speak,
Oh.
everything. Your mind is so much more open. You know, you
Yeah.
know more things, or you know less things about
Yeah.
certain things. Your interests are different. Like you know, I didn't know this for a very very long time. Whenever I go to India, I tell them, can you get my clothes passied? And they would just look at me and nod, and I would be like, Mom, what's wrong with them? And then my mom would tell me,
Yeah, what's
obviously they
wrong
don't
with
know,
them?
because passi is not Indian. It's not a Gujarati word, and I'm like, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
my whole life I've said passi because I thought
That's what you.
for me, I never processed whether it was a Gujarati word or a Swahili word or English.
Yeah.
It was part of my daily life. I'm multilingual.
That's just how you talk, and
I'm
that's
multilingual.
all you know.
At home, we go through a couple of languages and we don't realize in a single just breakfast conversation.
Yeah.
Because we just don't realize. You start speaking in one language and I continue, and then somebody adds on and it's a different
Yeah,
one. And
yeah.
we speak in a lot of
You're
different
throwing
languages.
in words there from just different
And
places.
it's the same for us because we're all speaking the same languages.
Yeah.
The same languages, but not, you know, like we're speaking 5 different languages, but all of us know these 5, so we don't
Yeah.
realize that there's a change.
Yeah. Not
And
true.
I think in multiple languages. So for me, it's the way I am. It's who I am, and I've never really questioned if I'm Kenyan because nobody has ever made me question that since I was a kid. I was
Yeah.
accepted. I went to school here. I did everything here. I mean, obviously, I did realize as I grew up that okay, you know, I am in a different culture and everything, but. My mind was so open by the time I was growing up. I accepted
Because
it
you've been
really easily.
traveling, you've been doing so many other things. So I'm guessing this is the one point where now you were like, yo, it's being actually highlighted to you.
Yeah, which was fine. I feel like it was good. It happened at that point, and it
Yeah.
happened to me
Yeah.
because I had the
You-
resources and I had the knowledge and I had the patience to be out there and explain it to people. Because
Yeah.
what I'm doing is I'm laying down a precedent for
For
everybody
anybody
else after
else,
me.
anybody else.
And you
yeah.
know now no Indian Kenyan should be questioned or you
Yeah.
know.
You made it easy for any other person. Like now for anybody competing with in Miss Universe or Miss World, I'm sure we'll have like a more diverse.
Yes.
I'm guessing like even this year we will have like a very diverse.
I really hope so.
And I was telling like, because I had a podcast session with one of the Miss Universe directors, and I was telling them like, yo, you know, once we did like the whole social media campaign and everything, it's the message got out there to a lot more people. So you should be prepared, because we have Finali representing us in Kenya. What if we have 4 Finalis show up for your auditions this year, and then we have like 4 white girls, we have 4 Somali girls, we have like people, let's say 4 girls from like, let's say Samburu, or like something that you're not expecting because of the social media reach that you put out there. You should be prepared to handle that, because somebody will come with all the qualifications, and you shouldn't be confused about picking them if they're the right person for the job.
For me also, it was the fact that I do not just the fact that I participated and then I went on to do all these things. I've never really been somebody who thought of myself as anything but Kenyan. That's why I was there. I was there in Kenya Fashion Week, and that's why I went to Nairobi Fashion Market, and that's why I went to KTN, and that's why I
Your blueprint is everywhere in Kenya, first of all. Let's start with that.
I want to do that. I want to be the first Indian-Kenyan doing things, but at the same time, I want to be the one who I want to, ease it in. It's when I won Miss India Kenya, they asked me, how would you bridge the gap between Indians in Kenya and Kenyans as a whole? And I told them, just winning a pageant like this itself is helping me, because it's called India Kenya in itself. It's acknowledging that we are a part of Kenya, and we were kind of happy when we were the 43rd tribe a few years ago, when we were announced as the 43rd tribe officially.
We were not considered.
No.
Before that?
No. And but I was kind of angry. I was like, why are we considered the 43rd tribe? Remove all tribes.
Oh yeah, so that we can just be one.
We are all one. We are Kenyans, and stop dividing us into A and B and C and D. So I mean,
We're getting there. It's just baby steps, and a lot of people.
Somebody had to.
Yeah, and it's just good because, like you're saying, you're setting a blueprint for so many other people. So now there's no that shock factor that,
exactly.
Selected. What do you mean? But people now understand. And like for you, I understood you more through the Miss World journey. I'm sure maybe it seemed like a stalker in your comments, because I was always with like stars like, yay!
I really appreciate that.
I was just there because I'm like thinking that if you're out there and you see your people just rooting for you and just sending that one message will make a difference, or you just feel like, you know what, there are people back home who are actually...
the Kenyan band, the one with the Kenyan flag?
Yeah.
Almost every Indian Kenyan has that.
Yeah.
And every time we go abroad, when we see another Kenyan or another Indian Kenyan, you have no idea how Kenyans react.
Excitement,
we go crazy.
Excitement. Like, what, Kenya?
What, in the middle of nowhere? I mean, China, I've met a Kenyan. What? You get so excited. Or if you see somebody in Kikois, or and in a second you know that, this is your tribe.
Yeah.
So that is us, the Indian Kenyans. Like, we will, I don't get so excited if I see another Asian. I'm like, oh, okay, fine, lots of them. If I see another Asian in anything Kenyan, or if I see just a Kenyan in anything Kenyan, and I'm like, oh, this guy's Kenyan. Maybe by mistake they might be Tanzanian, and I just confuse
but still they have
beadwork with a Kenyan
there's a connection.
Like, oh my gosh, it's something I
refreshing,
really look forward
right?
to. So, we're very patriotic. We love our country. We although we all complain about politics and we all complain the whole day, but here we have a chance of doing something. And I thought it's my time. It's why should I stop myself from doing something because somebody else might not understand? It's my job to make them understand. I will go ahead and do what I'm doing. And eventually people, I hope, will understand.
No, people will. And I think a lot of more people are getting more and more open-minded now, because everybody on their phone, they followed your journey, of course, because now they didn't have a choice. Like, Kenya's representative. Like, okay, so let's see what she has going on. But then you start seeing, like, even just from your Insta stories and how you're taking people through all these things you're talking about, like, today we're competing for this and this, and then you actually announce that you actually won that category, and now it starts making sense to people. They're like, okay, now, you're doing us proud. You're doing us proud.
My franchise holder told me that I'm the first Kenyan to ever win multimedia, and I'm the first Kenyan to win the tourism award. And actually, also in Africa, I don't think there has been another winner for these awards. And She told me our past Miss World winners have the only thing they've ever won is Beauty with a Purpose. So she's like, I did it through for three of those titles,
Yeah.
and she's like, Finali, you are one of the most hardworking Miss
Yeah,
Worlds we've had,
yeah.
and that to me was recognition. That to me was like, okay, I did my part and I did it well.
And it just shows people that, this thing, it's not by luck. It's pure hard work and just dedication
Yeah.
from your side.
But I also went through racism when I was there because
What?
there was a girl from another country who was just seated next to me, and it was another African country, and she would every day tell me things like, if this was in my country, we would never have allowed a person your color, and I would sit and tell her that would be racism.
And you can't
because
say
if
that
somebody is
even
born
for-
in your country,
They are
have
from
all the
your
rights
country.
that everybody
Yeah.
else has. It shouldn't
Yeah.
matter what color their skin is. And there was a point I got so frustrated of all her racist comments, I would just sit down quietly next to her, and that would be hard for me because I'm a talker. I'd
Yeah.
want to know more.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
had made friends with almost all the girls there. I'd find the time, and every time I was on the bus, I would not pick one partner. I'd try and sit with a different person so I can
So
talk
that
to
you
them
can
more
just
and learn.
get to know these people.
Yeah. When in your life are you ever going to meet people from 100 different nationalities?
Nope. It's not going to happen.
That changes your
It's
life
hard.
and your mind. It makes you learn so much, and it's just yes. So yeah, it's
And I also, that was among my questions, like, because I'm sure, like, okay, now I just know, because I know a lot more about the Miss Universe, and even like Miss Universe UK, they had like now a black girl represent them, and I don't know which other country had like, there were so many surprises.
USA also.
Yeah,
Once,
yeah.
I don't remember exactly when, and even wasn't Japan.
Japan, they had.
Google it. Come on.
Wait, Miss World Japan or
I
Miss
think-
Universe Japan?
I-
What did they have? What did they have?
They
first
had
of
a
all?
black person
What?
representing. Yeah, Japan.
What?
I mean, the thing is ignorance. People do not know what's happening around the world, and that's why they think, oh, this has happened.
First
This
of
is
all,
the
like
first
in
time it's
Japan
happened,
is crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
That, like you see, but even for them to just take that leap of faith, it just starts showing a lot of you guys that you really need to start big. Because we can't be praising Obama, and we can't be able to be open to creating such opportunities to other people. Yet, when Obama is appointed as a president in the States,
We took pride.
we want to support and just cheer
we took
him on.
pride that he was Kenyan
Yeah.
as well. And it's
We
the
forgot
same
about
way.
it's the same.
It's the same way. Like, my fellow Indians are going to take pride in me, and
Of
so
course.
are the Kenyans.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't have to belong. The motto of my life is not to fit in any box.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, try putting me in any box, and I will leap out of there and do something very different. And you'll be
Completely
like, okay, she's
different. Yeah.
introvert. No.
Yeah.
Shy. No. Talkative. No. Any box you put me in, I'm always. I feel like I need to change. I need to learn more. I cannot be static. I cannot stop learning. And I am this person who's got this called golden opportunity to do so much.
Yeah.
Then why should I ever limit myself?
And I'll tell you, why all this, what shaped all these little things that you're talking about, being open-minded, wanting to be interactive and everything. Do you know what shaped all this?
I
Travel.
I would say travel, but I
Yeah.
also think in a big essence, it's how I was brought up, my family.
Yeah.
Because my mother and my brother and sister, we're all like really open-minded.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who I know, like if you're Christian, you would never go to a mosque or something like that, Since we were kids, we go to churches, we go to mosques, we go to not just our temple, but a lot of different temples. Because I was the kind of person who was told that, what you're praying to is God, not, this and that. Although I'm not really like a very religious person or anything. I'm a person who believes in humanity, like do good and that should be enough. Like, just don't think bad for other people, don't do bad to other people, and that should be enough. But it's the kind of upbringing we've had where our mind was opened, where I was never stopped from having any kind of a friend. I would have all sorts of people over at my house. We were never stopped from eating a certain kind of food, or it was very open of the way we were brought up. And I think eventually it became part of our personalities. All of us embrace change very openly. We are extremely empathetic. We all love eating.
Spicy food.
Spicy food. My house, so I keep saying this because especially in the Indian community, there's a lot of sexism But in my house, like my brother and I and my sister, we would be the ones picking the dishes. So it would be my brother and I, and then my sister. Because I would like teamwork, she would like to do it herself. So we had divided days into Monday yours, Tuesday us two, Wednesday us two, Thursday you, like that. We would have turns for everything. And also our sibling relations weren't on like, it was never also ageism, like somebody's older so you have to listen to them. It was like reasoning, we grew up with
does
reasoning.
this make sense? I mean,
Should
before
I
you tell me,
listen? And I always knew, like I was always setting example, like I will never tell you not to do something and then go and do it myself. That's hypocritical.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't make any sense.
That's what I was saying, like about the foul language or about everything else. If I would only preach what I practice, and I think that for me has helped me.
That's very rare, especially in this podcast, not using foul language. I don't even have to put like because I have
you can beep beep beep.
I have
beep,
I have
beep.
the E like on iTunes, so that just in case somebody's listening and they hear something that they're not expecting.
You can put this as child friendly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Ages 3+.
I put like a unicorn there or a dove just to symbolize. Oh, teddy bear.
Panda bear.
Yes, yes. So just in the reign of Miss Universe, Miss World Kenya.
Yeah.
No, Miss World. Miss World. Yeah. On the international platform. What would you say you learned from just that experience of just being there? Because like there's just so much going on, and I'm guessing that's like one of the few experiences, just like beauty pageantry, that being in that. Have you been in another international platform like that, representing like just the country?
Miss India Kenya, I would gone there as
Kenya.
Yeah, but this was huge. This
is
like the biggest platform
this
ever.
Is crazy. This is like
Miss
all
World,
different.
Miss World has like the maximum number of countries ever. It is the biggest pageant, and it's got like a huge fan following all over the world. But I think my biggest learning was that I can be somebody much more than myself. Like, when I went there, I wasn't just Finali. I was freaking Kenya.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the weight on your shoulders.
You know what you've done? You've used a word that you're not supposed to. Now
what does that
Now
mean?
we can't put the unicorn again. We can't put like a panda bear anymore.
The word freaking?
Yeah.
How is that a bad word?
It's just like,
I
here's the
freaked
thing.
out.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even a bad word.
I'm not used to such profound language. Aggressive language. Yeah, I'm not used to it. Yeah.
My heartily apologies.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Yeah. So what would you say you learned from? Yeah, what would you say you learned from that just experience?
I also learned like,
because I'm just trying to understand like just you being in that platform, and you're representing Kenya and you're up against like all these countries. Do you look at it as, you know what, I don't want to be I want to be at least top 20? What's running through your mind, like, through your whole stay there?
So the minute we reached over there, the first thing we were told is, this is no longer a competition. Now it's like this retreat you have after work where you take all the best employees.
Yeah.
You've all already won the pageants in your countries.
Yeah.
You're all already Miss Worlds in your respective countries. Now you're all just here to represent your countries in the best possible light. And that is actually the essence of the Miss World competition. You don't even feel like you're competing for all the 30 days. It's only on the final one day is when you feel like, oh, this is the competition. Again, there's like a lot of politics involved, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes over there as well, because at the end of the day, they are dealing with countries as a whole and governments. They're not dealing with individuals.
Yeah.
And but for us, we already knew, we've already done the best we can, and we've already done whatever we had to do. These 30 days, we would go visiting different places. We would talk to other people, and it's just, you learn that even if it's a competition, even if it's whatever it is, you realize that you meet people who are so much like you, who have gone through a lot, who have seen so much in the world. I made friends with some of the girls who could not even speak English. and we would try to communicate, or we'd bring some girl who speaks like maybe Russian and
Or and
English
translate or
translate
something.
with us. Because for me, I never let like language be a barrier. Like, you know, so I want to know about you. I want to know about, you know, what you have to say to me. And for me, that was very important because it made me realize that I'm a very I'm a people's person.
Yeah.
I'm also very passionate about my Beauty with a Purpose project. I think I have explained it to every
Beauty with a Purpose project. What's that?
So that's my charity project, which
Okay.
was to do with widow cleansing.
Okay, we'll get to that. Let me just put it down. Beauty with a Purpose project, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. No, you can go on with what you're saying. I can multitask.
So my Beauty with a Purpose project was to do with widow cleansing. I'll take you through everything. So in 2016, I joined the SOWO Foundation, which is
Yeah.
patroned by Mama Sarah Obama. She's grandmother to President Barack Obama.
Oh, yes.
So I've been working with them for the past, it's been 3-4 years now. And when I started doing Miss World Kenya, I brought to them my project, which was on widow cleansing. You know widow cleansing?
No, that's what I wanted to ask, because I'm like just saying, and then I'm waiting for that part, like where, okay, now I need to ask
See, I'm
what's
more Kenyan than you now.
video cleansing.
Widow. You know widow? Husband died, you become a widow.
Oh, widow cleansing.
Widow cleansing.
Oh, okay. What's
So
that?
in the Luo and Luya community, so in Western Kenya, when you become a widow, you are kind of forced to sleep with another man to get your body cleansed. So it's kind of like rape, but not really. But it's kind of forced on you if you don't do it.
Yeah, you know, cultures, man, and that's why it's yeah. Okay.
If you don't do it, you are shunned out of the community.
I'm
as-
Luya, but we don't do that.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
anybody you find out does that, stop them.
Yeah.
And
So just highlight a bit of what it is.
So what we are doing is we are helping these women get jobs, understand that even if they say no to the practice, they can stand on their own feet. Women in these areas are not allowed to own land, which translates to no home ownership because you need land to build your home.
Yeah.
If you are not cleansed, your children are taken away from you. So the NGO I work with, they tell me that these are orphan kids. But they told me that these kids had mothers. And I told them, no, but orphans don't have both parents. And
Yeah.
I sat and argued with them. And then I felt like such a fool. Because they explained to me that when these women refuse to be cleansed,
Yeah.
the children are taken away from them and they are not allowed to be around the children because even the women themselves are conditioned to think that they are going to negatively affect these children and all that. So the children are practically treated like orphans because their mother cannot help them either financially or emotionally because she's not with them. And the father is obviously dead. And it's a very horrible practice because of the emotional and the physical. It's very, very horrible, and it shouldn't be happening to anyone.
It's not necessary at this day and age, first of all.
2019.
Yeah.
And you know, the funny thing is, it doesn't only happen in Kenya. It happens in 13 countries across Africa under a different name in Myanmar, in Pakistan, and in all these other countries as well.
Oh, yeah,
So when
yeah.
you think it's just a small Africa or Kenya problem, it actually isn't. And it's horrible. So that was my Beauty with a Purpose project in a very, 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 very brief summary. But
in
if
a
you want to
nutshell.
know more,
Yeah.
it'll be there on my Instagram and it's there in a lot of my social media. You can even visit the SOWO website. That's SOWO Foundation. Just Google SOWO Foundation and you'll find a lot of the
I'll
information.
put it on the, what do you call it, swipe up thingy
Awesome.
on Instagram. So, okay, one more question about just Miss World before we start winding up with a little bit of personal questions. Who would you say you got along with just in the Miss World contestants? Who are like your friendly, because yes, you can try and
So
be friends with
many.
everybody, but who are the most memorable people that you can remember from?
There was Miss Indonesia, Miss Singapore, Miss Finland, Miss Rwanda, Miss South Sudan. There were so many, and that's so many. Miss Mongolia was really nice. She was very funny, actually. She was
Who,
really funny.
Miss?
Miss Mongolia. Miss China, Miss Hong Kong.
Oh wow, you really made friends there, right?
Yeah, Miss USA, Miss Mexico who ended up winning. Miss. Wow, there were so many. Miss Russia. Miss Russia was actually Asian, So she was part Chinese as well, and you can see how open-minded the world has
Yeah.
become. It's just,
And these are the
yeah.
countries that you didn't expect them to actually have such representatives. But they're like, you know what, this is the best person for this job. Let's do it.
Actually got along very well with the previous Miss World winners. I think I'm the only one who has a picture with all the past Miss World winners.
Yeah, yeah.
I got along with them. The hosts, I made friends with the hosts. I was even friends with a bus driver, and he was like amazing. Of a tour guide, Jackie.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope you're watching this, Jackie. We miss you. He was so nice. And because I was vegetarian, they would all go out of the way. I think I was the only vegetarian person there.
Oh, wow.
And the winner for last year, she was a vegetarian. And it was, they would really, really take care of us. And wow, so many.
You've mentioned
so
like
many.
a lot. Okay, then, like out of like, let's say, the top 3, right? Did Uganda qualify as top 3? Who's top 3?
I don't think they were top 3. They were continental winners, and then the main winner, and then the first runner-up.
Okay, who was the first runner?
Thailand.
Thailand.
Yeah,
then
and
the
that's where
winner?
the pageant is this year now.
Oh.
Yeah. And the winner was Miss Mexico.
Miss Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay. But what do you think you learned from just the two of them by just looking at them getting to that position? What do you think they had that was special and outstanding? Because like we're talking, it's not about losing and winning, but it's what you see or notice from them. Like, you know what? This is why they actually have been put in this position, or why they've been selected to be like the runners-up or the winner. Is there something that's outstanding that you noticed about them?
I think it wouldn't be my place to know, because I mean, it's
You
not
didn't
my
notice?
we were 100 and something, so
Yeah,
we were all
yeah.
very different from each
Yeah,
other.
yeah. But you know, like when they announce, they say like, you know what, the
Well,
winner
I
is
did
the
love-
winner is Miss Mexico.
Well, I
Would you
did
say-
love her
would-
a lot.
Would you go like, okay, now it makes sense. It makes sense because of this and that.
No, I did love Miss Mexico a lot. We were both actually holding hands while the Beauty with Purpose part, because we were both there and we were together. And then Thailand, she was the one who was doing like the flag dance for our opening dance. I'd
Yeah.
see her every day. We were doing the dances of the world practices.
Yeah.
I think with Miss Mexico, I personally found her very, very, very friendly and really nice as a person. But I wouldn't say there was nobody else there who was also very friendly. But I think it's also about what the judges were looking for, which I do not know. As a person and a friend, I was looking for different things.
Yeah.
And as judges, they were looking for different things.
Yeah.
So
You
I
can't
just love
Point
I
a
love them.
finger at exactly one thing. It's not
No,
possible.
because it changes every year.
Yeah, yeah.
If they liked something this year, they want something different the following year. So
Yeah.
how do you know?
So you can't prepare and know, like, you know, next year, if like worst case
No.
scenario, if I was in the same position, I would do this differently. And
No, I
make-
would do nothing differently.
Really?
No. I think I gave it my all. I think I did. And that's the thing. I do whatever I want to do so that I don't have to regret and be like, I wish I did that, I would have done. Just do whatever I want to do. So I have no regrets. So I don't feel like, oh shit, I messed up, or I wish. I don't like having regrets.
Yeah. Okay.
That messes your
No,
mind.
fair enough. Fair enough. And okay, just moving from the Miss World competition itself and just coming back home. I've seen you like on your Instagram thanking the president.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen you not just once, but like almost like 3 times. And then I was like,
Because I met him 3 times.
that's yeah. Also you met yeah, but I just want to know like what was his contribution, or just what made you like, go out there and say like, you know what, I really appreciate the president, or even just paying attention to what I'm actually
he had
doing.
promised to even watch it,
He?
He probably did. The next time I meet him, I'll
Oh.
ask him.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, he was really nice. When I met him, he was like this casual guy you met, and he was like, "Hi, how are you?"
Yeah.
And then he remembered me. The next time we met, a month later, he remembered me. He's like, "How are you, my
Did
pretty
he
little
say
girl?"
Did he say your name right?
No, he said "pretty little girl."
Yeah, because it's safe not to say the name wrong.
But I don't think we had ever met as my name, because I was like introduced as Miss World Kenya.
Oh, okay.
But I would hope he knows my name, because I got like this invitation from
Of course he
from
knows.
the-
It's the pronunciation
Oh, my
part.
pronunciation.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Of course, the name he knows, but he'll be like,
But you know what happened the first time I met him when I came back home? I told
Yeah.
my mom,
Yeah.
I've checked out the competition.
Oh, what? Okay.
It's my
Yeah, yeah.
dream since I was in school to
Yeah.
be president.
Oh, okay. Now that
Even
makes
when I
sense.
met
Yeah,
Barack
but
Obama,
that is
I
crazy.
was so
Now
happy.
listen, can you imagine first female president of Kenya?
Maybe I wouldn't be the first. I'm hoping there would be others.
Hey, come on,
I
come on.
hope we change faster.
Hey, listen. We're trying to speak things to existence. Don't ruin.
Okay.
Don't ruin my thoughts. Don't ruin my chain of thoughts. So, let's go with it. Just run. Can't you just run with it?
First female president of Kenya, Her Excellency Finali Galaiya.
Finali Galaiya. Your Excellency. But as long as you don't forget about this podcast, once you get to that, Nini.
Well,
Don't
I'll
have
be
to-
50 or 60 plus, so I don't know how much I'll remember by then, but I
Will
promise
the
I will try.
Will the goldfish memory be like, you say we met where?
When?
You sure?
You don't look the same.
Oh, come on. Okay, so, but I've seen you just, even after coming back.
I don't forget faces. I
No.
forget names, but I don't
So
forget
it'll be
faces.
those people
so I
like,
remember you.
okay. So, just one other thing that I've noticed is I've seen you like just in so many projects where, I don't know if it's projects, but I've just seen you shaking hands with so many government officials, government functions, and what exactly is your role just as Miss World Kenya once you're back in the country? What duties does it come with? Because, for some people they wouldn't know. They're like, she's been crowned, so maybe that's all she wanted. But what other duties does it come with?
So number one, it's being a representative of the youth.
Yeah.
As Miss of Women in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also at the same time trying to bring my best foot forward and show, bring issues to light, like my Beauty with a Purpose project and all these issues, to explain them to people. At the same time, I'm being a role model. I'm learning from these people. I'm asking them questions. They're asking me questions. They ask me what I've achieved in my life. I ask them what they think I should do, or what I think
Can be done
can
differently.
be done about XYZ. I mean, I remember we had met one of the ministers, and we sat for a few hours actually. We were discussing problems with the youth and what can be done to improve them. I talked to her about this my project, which is in Siaya, and I told her extensively about that, and they spoke about how how they need to add these issues to to the issues they have currently, because these are not just issues about women. It encompass no. But it's just children are also a huge part of these issues, and it's not just women. And there were a lot of other things we talk about, and it is my duty at the end of the day to do this, because I have this amazing platform, and if I will not use, I have to use this platform for something bigger than myself.
Yeah, an
Because
impact, or
otherwise
just
it's just a waste.
Mm.
And then there's the flies.
Okay, let's talk. No, what's her name? Terry Mungai.
Oh, Mr.
Yeah. So, how's your relationship? I mean, how much of an impact has she made just from that experience? Because I'm guessing like you were not friends before.
No.
Yeah. So like, just how influential, or how has she been? Like, just the whole process of just.
I'll tell you why I had enough guts to take part in all the 3 pageants I did. And the reason was all 3 of them were being managed by women. For me, I've heard enough about the beauty industry to know the prostitution that goes on sometimes, the sexual harassment, and all the bad things. So for me, knowing that a woman was up there and there was a woman looking through all this, I at least knew I would be safe. I at least knew that I wouldn't face a lot of the other issues. And that for me was one of the reasons why I get the courage to participate. And when I had seen interviews of Miss Terry, how she started her whole saloon business as a woman, how the bank had refused her a loan because she was a woman, and they said, we want your husband's signature first, and she's like, if I default the loan, I'm the one who's going to come and pay, not him. And a lot of these things that they say resonate with me, because I'm a very strong feminist. I believe in women having equal rights, and I believe in women standing up for themselves and doing a lot of these things. So when I see strong women out there, I want to be part of these things that they are part of, these communities, these projects, because it makes me feel like I have this purpose much more greater than myself, and that I'm adding to something that is doing great things for women and for people out there. And for me, that was one of the reasons why I chose to be a part of Miss World Kenya. She was one of the reasons. I often tell her even that, I'd seen this interview of yours and everything. Yeah.
So another question, just from something that you've mentioned,
Yes.
and you can talk about it, or if you don't want to talk about it, you can talk about it, right? It's something that you've mentioned, and it's unfortunate, but a lot of just girls in general who are in that model industry and stuff end up in the dirty, like, just industry of prostitution,
Or sponsors.
on sponsors and all those things. And it's just like, I don't know if it's they encourage themselves to do that, or they're misled, or they're taken advantage of. Because I'm just thinking, like,
All of those. Everything you said, all of those.
because if you're like 18 and you qualify for participating in such like a beauty pageant and stuff, like, according to the government, you're entitled to make your own decisions. But like, there's a huge chunk of girls, not apparently or allegedly, we all know, and even some contribute to the boosting of the sex tourism. Apparently now we are top 10 somewhere in the world.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, and
The
it's
first-
unfortunate because it's we have the beautiful girls who that's the only thing they have to result to.
The first NGO I had approached and worked with for a while was to do with sex trafficking
Yeah.
and human trafficking.
Yeah.
And because that was very close to my heart, I'd actually met a girl who was being imported, and so that she was literally treated like a commodity to be exported somewhere else for sex trafficking. And I watch a lot of documentaries, and all this angers me a lot. But
Yeah.
I've learned that I'm no longer going to be angry about this. I'm actually going to
Do something. Yeah, do something about it.
It happens because of one, people have they're conditioned. They're told that but they throw off names like every famous person, or every person, or whatever you want to become, like she did this, so you have to do that.
Yeah.
The problem is that men are the ones who are holding the reins in these industries, and then they do such hideous acts, and it's very, very disgusting, for no better word. But it's a shame, really, because all these women are made to feel like, first their self-confidence is attacked, then it's a process, it's conditioning, it's making them victims, it's making them feel like it's dehumanizing them, because they want to see these women as items or commodities, and that is what is a really huge issue right now. And that's why I usually try and encourage more women to take up these roles, because frankly, people don't realize, but women taking up these roles not just help other women in just that, I have a role model to look up to, but it also helps in the fact that women like me, we feel more secure. We feel like, we can do a few things, because there's a threat. There's always an underlying threat. Whenever a woman is going for a job interview, she's always also mentally prepared for any unethical or any
sketchy approach.
Why should that have to happen? But now if I know I have an interview with the lady, I'll go so much more confident and so much more comfortable, because I know, that is not going to happen, So that kind of a thing. But it shouldn't have to be that way. We shouldn't have to have a woman there, so that every time a woman comes in, she should have to see another woman to feel safe. So it's the industry that needs to to change.
Yeah.
And for that, it is, people like Miss Terry or any one of you out there, you too, you all need to do your bits.
I'm playing my part with the podcast.
Do more. Never be
No, that's
content.
not enough. That's not enough.
It's never enough.
But then again, on that just subject, before we finish up on that, a lot of people are saying, like, these women are putting themselves in these situations, and they're in control of saying yes or no. And because, like, right now, the way you're talking about, it's men taking advantage of these young women. But if you go, like, on Instagram right now, the Kenyan climate is everybody, a majority of successful young women, you'd see them portraying that it's good to have a sponsor. It's good to, like, almost like selling yourself in exchange for a certain lifestyle.
I remembered my question.
Hold on. Yeah. And then before I just finish, because I know I'll also forget. You know you'll forget, but I know I'll also forget.
No, it's okay.
Oh my God, and there it goes. I'm almost forgetting. Finali, thanks for doing this.
No, women sponsors celebrities on
Yeah,
Instagram?
and everything. So a lot of women who are in good positions are modest and are preaching something else are not very vocal about it, because you see, like for you don't talk about such issues maybe on your Instagram, but you'd pick like maybe a socialite who's out there, they're posting videos constantly about this lifestyle, and all that the young girls get to see every single day is that. And that's what's getting the likes, that's what a majority of the other girls are doing. And why wouldn't they think like this is the right thing when they have Finali, and Finali is just quiet, she's doing her.
So my question when I did the pageant was, what do you think about all the social media celebrities? And my answer, which I'm going to say, it's not word to word, but what I remember of it, is that, nowadays we are having celebrities made out, role models coming out of social media, and people get very popular. And people don't realize that there are two phases to every coin. When you get popularity, at the same time you're getting responsibility. Because while these people are looking up to you for the amazing things that you've done in life, they're also looking up to you to the choices you've made to get these things and all these other things. And my answer on that day was about role models, and how not every person who's a celebrity is actually a role model. Because a lot of these people are teaching women, children, men, youth that drinking is okay, drinking is cool, or drugs are cool, or having a sponsor
is cool.
And that is why we need more role models who are doing amazing things without having to drink or do drugs or have a sponsor, are doing it by their own hard work, are doing it by knowing that there's a chance of failure, you might as well fail. You'd rather fail than fall into such a trap. And well, my answer went on for very long, and I was told I was very talkative over there also. But that is my answer to this. Because at the end of the day, you have to understand that if you have access to social media, you're probably 16, 17, 18. And in today's age, 13 onwards.
They have phones.
I understand if somebody 13 or 14 thinks like this, but if somebody who is 18 or 19 thinks like this, that person should have paid more attention in class. Because how would you not know? But anyways, all that aside, women, people are in situations, they're in slums, and they want to know, how can I do this? And they are told this is the easy way. My advice is, if anything looks like it's the easy way, don't do it. Nothing comes easy. It always comes with a price. Sometimes the price becomes your own mental health. Sometimes it becomes your physical body. Whatever it is, do not go for the easy way. Always work hard. It's going to happen. There are going to be those slay queens and everything. And those are women who are also living in a world of vanity. How often have you seen a slay queen or something who is in her 40s or 50s or 60s post anything on social media?
Nope.
Because it has a lifeline. It dies away. You are just you're being treated as a commodity. Today this is popular, tomorrow that will be popular, and they'll just drop this and they'll leave it.
You'll have manufactured young ones, and they're the ones who are going to come and replace you.
Well, they shouldn't. If you're young and you're listening, don't do this.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
But the thing
I'm just saying
that it runs out. All this runs out
True.
eventually, and it's all vanity. It's something that will be there today, it will not be there tomorrow. Don't run for the short-term goals. Think long-term. Think what kind of a person you want to be. Even if you have to work 10 hours a day, even if you have to work 12 hours a day, do that work instead of having to, fall into such a situation. Again, if you have any problems, look for somebody older to talk to. Look for somebody who you can approach. Principal in school, your teacher, your counselor, anybody who will actually guide you through this. Do not just decide that you're old enough to make decisions. Believe me, I don't think I'm old enough yet. Myself, I still take advice on a lot of things. Because it helps. Have another person think it through with you. And if somebody is encouraging you to do such things, you don't need to listen to them. Let them do these things. That is their choice. You make your choice. Remember, peer pressure or any of these other pressures that you're seeing on the media or anywhere else, they don't matter. At the end of the day, all that matters is what kind of a person you want to become and how you want to choose the path to becoming to that kind of a person.
Ladies, if you haven't listened to that 4-minute segment that she's actually put emphasis on that. But you see, like even for me, I have friends, and they do that. And here's the unfortunate part.
It's your responsibility to explain.
No, here's
it to
the
them.
thing. Even if I try and tell them, they'll tell me, what? Like, are you gonna pay my bills?
See, that is the thing.
Which I won't pay, not because I don't have the money, but
it's
that's
not
not
your
that's
responsibility.
not that's my responsibility, and that's not the solution.
Let me tell you.
But they can only hear that from other girls. But it's unfortunate, and even for a lot of women that I've brought here, everybody doesn't have anything nice to say about that, right? Because they're against it. But all the success that's been painted on social media
not
is
all.
what? No, a majority. Because let's say
Yeah.
you post something today on your social media and say, like, girls, work hard, and you know what, believe in yourself and do this, you can be able to achieve A, B, C, and D. There are certain number of likes that you're gonna get. But if a socialite posts a picture with a bikini and they're in a luxury vehicle and they're sipping like champagne and everything, who do you think these young girls are going to resignate to or move?
Well, I think then I'm giving this message to the wrong people. And this message is for you, the girl in the bikini in that car. After you take that picture, explain to people how you worked hard to get there. And if you did not work hard to get there, keep that picture in your phone and do not post it. So one of these examples I give so that I can explain things better to people is, say there's this child, say she's 8 or 9 years old, and she's put into the sex trafficking ring. Now, until say the age of 16 or 17 or whatever age you want to put, she's been part of this.
Yep.
She finally is found by NGOs, or she decides to quit on her own and finds her own way. She starts doing work. Say she's having her own kiosk. I actually read an article about this. I'm trying to carve a story from that.
Yeah.
And she started her own work. Now,
Yeah.
per day she's making, say, per month, say she's making 30,000 or 20,000. She has a baby, maybe because of the sex trafficking, maybe because
Yeah.
of a relationship.
Yeah.
Today the baby's sick, she needs the money. Now, she had not got the opportunity to get the kind of education all of us had. She doesn't have some of these opportunities that we did. No matter how much harder she'll work in her job, she knows
Yeah.
she might not be able to handle this. Her friend group is also limited to maybe the past prostitutes or something like that. And then a friend comes to her and tells her, you know what, I have this job for you, prostitution.
You can make some.
And they will go back to it because that's the only way of life they know.
The easiest way they can.
It's the way of life they've
Oh yeah.
learned.
Yeah.
The same with the slay queen thing that you're saying. It's
Yeah.
the way of life they've been conditioned to learn, and we need to break them out of it. We need to show them that no matter what it is, that we try and show them avenues, make avenues for them, make platforms for them. For your friend, you're saying that who doesn't want to get out of the slay queen business or something, instead of telling her that, instead of me helping you financially or something,
Yeah.
let's sit down, let's talk. What skill sets do you have? Let me give you a few suggestions. Let me help you so that you can help yourself. Again, you cannot help a person who doesn't want to be helped,
And
but you have to try.
funny thing, because what I'm talking about, it's like the friends that I'm talking about, they're like
Well off.
no, not even well off. Like they're from okay families,
Yeah.
you see, and they're like 21, 22,
Mm-hmm.
but they really strongly believe in that lifestyle. And like every single day, I see them like digging a hole that they can't get out of. But the scariest bit is like a lot of younger girls, that's what they just
see.
believe. Yeah, and I think people don't believe in working hard anymore. People want what's fast. How fast can I get this money?
Fast
How
and
fast
easy.
can I show off this money? And like you've mentioned, there's some girls who are also coming from well-off families. So it's not like they even need the money, but they're doing it for Instagram,
For the lifestyle.
for the lifestyle, and just validation from other people. Like, yes, I do. My dad has money and everything, but of course your dad won't be buying you 5-10 bottles of champagne like in a month, and he won't pay you for all these random trips. And I mean,
I think there are a couple of answers to this. For somebody like your friend, because you are in
friends,
common.
there are
Your
many.
friends.
Yeah.
So I pick one of them. Okay, let's
Yeah.
pick A.
Yeah.
So your
Friend
friend A,
A,
your
uh-huh.
friend A is doing this. Now, if you have another friend who isn't into this business, try to make them meet so that she can see. This is also option. This is what a woman can do, or try and find friend C who was in this kind of a business and got out of it.
Yeah.
So that this friend A can relate to it and can see, oh, there is a way out. It's not only for somebody who got this education or for somebody who's never done this. At the end of the day, talking
Can I send
only help a
someone
bit.
to you?
You can, yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Yeah. And you'll see their podcast. You know what?
I want to see it now.
No, because it's not yet out.
Oh, you can
But
send it to me.
they're 20 and they got into the stripping business.
I think one of the worst things is when they know it's wrong, but they have resigned to the life.
Yeah.
When they feel like, oh, they don't have any more options, and this is the time when you need to show them that,
The
you know
options
what?
are there. There's so many other things you can
If
do.
you cannot see it, I'm going to help you. I'm going to put on these glasses for you, and you'll see clearer. The
Yeah.
world is no longer as blurry as you thought it was.
True. Okay, it's a hard topic to tackle.
It
cause-
is.
And it's alarming when you see go to Google, type in top 10 sex tourism destination. We're there. Kenya is there.
Mombasa is huge. We are not only a destination, we are also
Yeah.
a port.
Yeah.
People bring them here to take
Yeah.
them elsewhere, and it is.
And then, let me tell you one other thing. Maybe that you're not, I don't know whether you're aware of, but even just as the podcast, I've been highlighting it in so many other episodes, and we're planning to do something in December just because the podcast has been good and we've talked about issues, and when we're talking about impact, it starts with us doing something. So in Kilifi County last year, there was a reported teenage pregnancies, and I'd want you to guess the number.
In thousands, I'm guessing.
As crazy as it can be, just guess a number.
10,000.
14,000. And between the ages of 10 to 18
I'll
or
ask
19.
you a question.
Yeah.
So one of these days, I was reading a report on childhood parenting, like childhood teenage pregnancies, and
Yeah.
how women become teenage parents. And then me and my sister were there, and I was like, "Look at these guys! They're so sexist. It's not just the women who become parents; it's even the guys." And then I read the whole article, and I'm like, "Himanshi, they're right. It's only the women who become teenage parents, because most of these men who prey on these women are not teenagers.
They're
They
old
are
men.
old men."
That's the point. That's why I was bringing it to light, because it's old guys who are sleeping with these kids.
And we need to educate these men,
Yeah.
these old stupid men who are doing this shit.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Hey,
But-
language.
I just told them to stop it.
To stop this what?
To stop it. You'll have to
You said
rewatch
stop
it.
this what?
I just said stop it.
Profanity. I know you are upset and very sensitive when it comes to this subject.
I really just said stop it,
You
man.
said stop this
Rewind.
shit, you
no,
know that?
rewind and watch, you guys. Rewind and
Okay,
watch.
okay.
Tell us who is right, me or him. It's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
me. I know what I say.
Okay. It's a heat of the moment thing.
I
But
didn't say that.
you did. I'm just saying that I can see how passionate
If
you
you
are.
guys feel he
I
edited
don't
and
want-
put any words in there, let
no,
me know.
listen, I don't want this podcast to be the first platform that you actually start using.
Oh, no.
You see?
But
But yeah, that's what
Continuing.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually old men who are getting. And when you go to these places, I was trying to bring this comparison, because when people were, the whole R. Kelly thing was, people were talking about it in the media, and a lot of people were calling on radio and talking. I was like, yo, you need to realize, if you just go to our country, you go to all these other places
happens
outside
everywhere.
Nairobi, like if we count the Kilifi County, it's almost normal there. I think to them, they don't even realize. And even it's scary, because maybe the kids think it's a normal thing for a grown-up to do this to me.
you know,
And the grown-ups, when they're doing it, they're like, this is what, she's 12, I'm supposed to do this to her. So
I think one of the most basic things will start with education. We need to teach them that this
Yeah.
shouldn't be happening to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
One of the problems is also the fact that it's become a norm. It's become normalized,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
is disturbing.
Yeah.
So I think this is not just a problem me and you can solve. This is something that the government and a lot of other people need to step into, because it is about children. Come on, don't do this to children.
yeah.
And eventually, I'd see it as rape. I don't even see it,
It
as
is
anything
rape.
else.
It is rape.
It's clean rape.
But
in
they
Kenya-
don't know that. You see, the adults doing it, they don't
understand. Yes.
they don't understand it is.
Women and children need to know what their rights are.
Yeah.
Teach them their rights in school. I wasn't taught. I had to go to Google and find out. Do you know that marital rape is not rape in Kenya?
What's that? Don't get upset because don't get upset with me.
I'm hoping you're going to go to Google after this.
No, but I think
But,
I have an idea of what you're saying. Like maybe the husband comes home
and rapes the wife.
No, let's not put it that way. Let's put it this way. He wants to have consensual sex with the wife, but
she says no.
She says no, she's not in the mood, she's tired or something, but he forces himself.
It's not that simple. No.
Okay. Okay, you describe it then. I've tried to be.
Yeah, you've tried to. He's tried to like put frosting on a piece of garbage.
No,
this is why we have so many of the problems. Do not make these problems pretty. They're not pretty. They're not pretty.
Okay. How? Just describe it.
Say two people are married.
Yeah.
Person A, it could be either way, huh? Not just the man, it could be the woman also. But let's face it, 99% it's the men.
You see, that's the thing.
But
nobody takes men seriously when it comes to.
No, that's why I
when
said
it's in
99,
reverse.
and that's why I said it was both
Okay, yeah,
ways,
sure.
because it happens.
Majority, yeah, true.
You
true.
know, a big lesson I learned when I was working with the human trafficking is a lot of men were taken for sex trafficking.
Yeah.
But when they come back, they don't speak about
They
it
can't.
because it's a taboo. Everybody laughs on them.
Yeah.
And that was something we were trying to work on as well. So don't see this as me laughing on you. It's just that most of you are the problem, so some of you kind of suffer because of it. But I'm not going to let that happen.
Yeah.
But yeah. Chain of thought.
Oh my God! How can you forget? You almost have it. You have it.
Yes.
You're talking about.
Remind me a few words I was saying.
Oh my God! Like I told you, once you say that.
I got it.
Okay. Oh,
I got
cute.
it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So A and B are married.
Oh yeah.
A forces and rapes B.
Yeah.
Rape is rape, whether you're married or not.
Mm-hmm.
How would you define rape?
So you're walking the street. Not somebody's walking the street. Somebody comes, pins you down, and they force themselves on you and have
What about
sex.
these childhood pregnancy rapes? Do they happen on the street?
No, that one I've talked about them. That's definitely rape. But here's the thing.
But
I
it
think
happens in the houses a lot of the time.
because for the kids, I think they're deceived and they're almost thinking that it's normal.
It's conditioning. It's
Yeah,
you're told.
true,
You know, it's
true, yeah.
made so normal. Your
Yeah.
mother went through it. You
Yeah,
tell
so do
somebody,
it.
they're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
You know, everybody did this. You have a problem, you go to the police. The police is like, this happens all the time.
Yeah.
Really, you know, what happened? Did you? No. You know. Also, another problem we have is victim blaming. We tend to find, okay, what was your fault? What were you wearing?
Can't blame
what
the
were you
kids,
doing
man.
at? You know, what
You
were you
can't
doing
blame
at
the
his
kids.
house? Or
Yeah.
what were you know, that needs to stop. We need to blame the person responsible instead of finding reasons for why they did it. You did something wrong. Period.
True.
There
But-
might be reasons for it.
Yeah.
There might be reasons for
Yeah.
it. But you did something wrong, and that is we
It
need to
is
acknowledge
wrong. We
it's
have
wrong.
to acknowledge it's wrong.
Yes, it's wrong.
So about this marital
Marital rape. Yeah.
that you're talking about, you're saying that it's not. So if a woman basically goes to report this, it's not considered.
Yeah, it's like it's your husband. He had the right to. So today, you two are married. He decides, okay, he wants sex right now. You don't want it. He's going to have it with you anyways. You're sleeping
That's
and he's
crazy.
having
It sounds crazy.
You
Are
could
you
be
sure
on the
it's
verge
not
of-
illegal?
That's why I'm never getting married in Kenya. I'm going to go look for a country where I have rights.
Because if you speak about it, it makes no sense at all.
And for in Kenya,
Makes no sense.
there's multiple marriages allowed. There is domestic violence that happens. Imagine as somebody drunk or as not even drunk. Let's not even give them the benefit of saying that, oh, you were drunk, that's why you did something stupid. You did something stupid anyways. So you are hitting your wife. 2 minutes later, you decide you want to sleep with her. Do you think she wants to sleep with you? But you will do it anyways, and she cannot report it because it is not illegal. He's your husband. He has the right to. We have so many communities in Kenya, and we also have the Muslim community, and they allowed multiple marriages. And a lot of these people could even get married to girls who are younger because if your marriages are still allowed if you're a bit younger.
Yeah.
And then it's no longer considered rape. So if XYZ rapes somebody else and then they marry them, it's no longer rape.
Oh wait.
So it becomes a lot of problems.
Okay, hold on. Are you sure about these things that you're saying?
Okay, let's go on Google and
No,
let's
no,
do
no,
a
no. Listen,
podcast
listen.
part 2 only about these things. I
Okay,
think.
yeah. We will,
Yeah, let's
right?
do that. Let's do more research.
Yeah, and then we
let's
do
sit
part
down.
2, yeah?
We
Right.
should.
Yeah, because, I mean, it just sounds ridiculous.
It
Most
is,
of the things
it is.
sound
It's
ridiculous.
scary to be a woman.
Yeah, no, it's, and I know you have to deal with a lot because I can
Yeah.
only imagine, like,
Thus the martial arts.
oh, martial arts training. Yeah, I'll show you about, I'll send you links to the style
Okay.
bender.
Okay.
So, let's move away from that because,
Yes.
I can see it's just, you're getting heated up with that.
Oh, I always do.
And you're getting very aggressive in the conversations.
Aggressive
Yeah. So let's just move to more personal because we've talked about a lot, and let me just touch on a bit of personal before we just wind up the podcast because we definitely have to have a part 2 because I mean I have to say, like, did you have a good time doing this?
I did.
You see?
I am.
You
having-
see? Yeah, you're having a good times. And that's why, like, if people don't hear us having such discussions, there's somebody seated somewhere and then they're like, oh, what? Wait. What do you mean? Like, that's actually a thing?
And this myth I want to break that
Yeah.
beauty queens or women who win pageants or women who look good are ignorant of the rest of the world and are just pretty faces.
Yeah.
I remember I had gone out with a group of my friends and I was talking to one of their uncles and we were discussing things to do with Taiwan or just politics and how Hong Kong and all
Current
this China
events
and current
and everything.
events and everything. And they didn't. None of my friends had anything to contribute to that conversation because I was the one who knew what was happening. And we were just talking about how China considers Taiwan as a part of China, the UN considers it as a separate country, and all these things. And one of my friends goes like, and I felt so humiliated because he was shocked that I was smart. And that is
Oh, no.
humiliating because that means they did not think I was smart. And that was, to me, that was like an eye-opener that this is how a lot of people assume many of us are. And this was way before I won Miss World, by the
Yeah.
way.
And can I
Yeah,
say
yeah.
something
Yes,
before
please.
I forget?
Yes, please.
Here's the thing. Because I've shot a lot of episodes, right?
Yes.
For my podcast and everything. I've brought in YouTubers, Miss this and this contestants, like so many different women from different walks of life, right? And there's one thing that I noticed.
Yeah.
They don't highlight or put out their what would you call it? Their educational stripes, if I can do that, if I can say that.
It's not
Because
just
let's say
educational.
I have like this amazing YouTuber, makeup artist, there's this model and everything. Everybody who comes here, they're like, this is what I do. And then like, okay, what did you study in school? And most of the time, once they start telling me, I'm like, what? You have a degree in what? You have a master's in what? You have all these things. But I'm like, but why don't you put it out there for people to understand or make it cool for girls to understand? Like, you know what? It's actually okay to go to school, first of all, because like, let's say for you, I didn't know like your educational background, but I did not assume that you are not smart. Let's get that.
It was on my bio before my educational background.
And then
I won Miss World and I was supposed to put Miss World related stuff for the multimedia competition.
Yeah.
So I had to remove a lot of that stuff.
But you see, the thing is like now is when like you're like probably at this like really high pedestal, and that's where like a lot of girls would want to actually emulate.
Oh,
So-
don't worry, I
so-
have something planned.
So a lot of girls, when they come there, all they see is like, she did this beauty pageant. That's why she's traveling. That's why she's doing all this. That's why all these opportunities are coming. So they won't see, like, if it's necessary to go to school and learn A, B, C, and D. They'll just assume like, I just need to be Miss World, and that's it.
That's the
But
thing.
here you are.
The
She has like so many degrees. She's done so many other things like on the side. She's doing paragliding, skydiving, Muay Thai or kickboxing or whatever, all these things. But they don't know.
I even know how to dance near Titi.
You see? But I'm just saying, I think a lot of beauty queens downplay on the smart part. And that's why, like, even like for a lot of people for the longest time, they keep saying like, Kim Kardashian is not the smartest, but she might be like one of the smartest women in this world. Because you'll say like she's dumb and she'll be like, okay, let's play these cards. Next year you see her on Forbes.
Two things.
Yeah.
One, it has to do with the kind of questions we are asked. A lot of the times, the only questions you're asked is, the kind of clothes you wear, or what is your routine, or
Ah.
So it also, you're only answering
Routine,
questions. It's not on
skincare
you.
routine,
It's not
skincare,
on you
yeah.
to decide what you're being asked. And number
Yeah.
2, it is what is expected of you. People kind of turn off when you start talking about anything that they consider shouldn't be a part of what they imagine you are. So if somebody like me all of a sudden starts talking about women rights, and then I have somebody right next to me who wanted me to only talk about how I walk in high heels or something,
The bikini section
they'll
of
try
Miss
and
World,
navigate me away or
Yeah.
something. Or the response will not be that great. Again, we're not doing this for the response, but I am taking all your feedback into my mind, because I really do appreciate that, and I would want to make some of those changes, because wow, I did not know about some of these things. So thank you.
Nice. What does that say about me?
Well, that you're very observant and very nice.
Oh, there you go. But I'm just saying, because at times when, if you put yourself in these like kids situations or positions, try and just think about it, because a lot, and even you'll see like from most of my podcasts when I'm posting them, because I've shot like a lot of episodes, you will see every time the first question I have to ask is like, okay, what did you study in school? Did you? And most of the answers are like, I'm doing A, B, C, and D, and these are like models I just see on the runway. So if I go on their Instagram, all I see is the pictures, and it leaves a lot of interpretation.
That's the thing. You see, for us, our social media is a work.
Yeah, true.
For me, when I post on social media, I'm posting as Miss World right now. I'm not posting as Finali Galaiya, but my educational background or my curiosities, my interests are all part of Finali, and
Yeah.
so there's that line that we kind of also draw.
But
Sorry.
I don't want to forget. I'm so sorry
No,
for interrupting you.
no.
But you have to realize that once you're in that position, it's not just about you anymore.
Exactly.
Because anything small that you put out there, girls would be like, yo, like I look up to her. I'd want to represent Kenya in her position, but that's the information is very limited. Like you've said, it will be limited to like press runs, pictures
Mine
behind the
is
scenes and
maximum
everything.
charity work. I
Oh,
try
yeah,
and
the
show maximum
Oh
my
yeah,
charity
that
work.
that I've
And
seen a
my
lot.
personal life, like with my brother, sister, or
Ah.
with friends, because I feel like, okay, I also have this life where
Yeah.
I'm being happy. So I would mostly like people to see like the happy parts or the charity work.
Yeah.
And then if you see my Instagram stories,
Yeah.
that is when you'll find out who I am, the feminist in me, and the
Oh yeah,
and
I've seen those
and
a lot of feminist posts.
and the slight
like-
sarcastic
Yeah.
humor.
I'm like that. We
and
have
the
to save a
cute-
special segment for just that.
Yeah.
But you also have to understand the way I'm just saying
Yes.
this, like
I am.
if that's what you're putting out there, you also have like maybe, how would I call it, a social responsibility.
Yes.
Because yes, all these girls are misguided, but where do they find direction if the only direction that they can get is from all these other negative things that they have?
Maybe we can
or
do a
that
whole
they're seeing?
mentorship series with your
Yes.
friends and me.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
do that.
Yeah, if they'd want to be on camera,
Well,
that
we'll
is.
have to ask them.
Yeah, you
Or we
see.
can put nice, cute emote icons on their
Smiley
face.
emoticons,
Because I mean,
yeah.
their stories are as deserving to be
Yeah,
out there
yeah.
as anyone else's.
Because now you'd have conversations from their perspective and understand. Because like there's some who are like so well spoken, well educated, and you'd be like, why do you have to do this? Because don't you understand you can actually achieve A, B, C, and D? But they have like a list of their reasons. And I'm just guessing, like, let's just save that for another segment, right? Because that can go on and on and on. And okay.
But I love how we can touch on every topic.
Yeah, because
and
it's
we can
necessary.
still talk about it.
Yeah, and it's just nice to hear that you're very open-minded to having these discussions, because
Anytime.
they're the discussions that people would want to hear just from you. Like, okay, what do you think about this? Like, yes, as girls, we're not supposed to do this, but what are your thoughts? What else do you think we can do? Don't do it. Don't do it. So the last segment, and it's not going to take long. Trust me. I know I've said
believe
that,
you.
and we keep going on and on and on. So just the last segment, because I always try and find like a balance in everything. The podcast is about the 4 pillars of life.
Yes.
Do you know the 4 pillars of life?
I've forgotten them. Please
Oh, wow.
remind me.
So you don't have any sort of guidance like in your life? You just run around just,
I have my own morals, like don't do bad to anybody.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I have my own
Oh, yeah,
things
yeah, true.
guiding
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Okay. Health,
Yeah.
wealth,
Uh-huh.
love, and happiness.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's
and
talk
all
about
those
this.
and all those things just contribute to. Everybody has just like a different journey when you mention anything, because you've just told me about like. First of all, you do workout, right? You do Muay Thai. She has like jiu-jitsu, black belt, and whatever. Or am I mistaking you for somebody else?
Somebody else?
Somebody else?
Somebody else?
No.
I
But you do,
go
like
to the gym when I need to, but
you work out a bit.
I have a very good metabolism, so.
No. Here's the thing. She just teach me something that I didn't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she just told me like
Chilies help with metabolism.
Yeah,
So
so you eat a lot of
add a little spicy, a little spice to your
green
food.
chili
and
or
green chilies mainly.
They speed up your metabolism. So it's chili for me like today. Like I don't know what I'll order, but I'm just planning to do a lot of chili. But at least that just explains how maybe you've talked about working out a bit, and your diet. Of course, you're
I like
vegetarian,
walking a
right?
lot. I even walk. If I want to talk to somebody, I'll be like, let's take a walk. When I'm on the phone, I'm always walking. And I'm a kinesthetic learner, so even when I'm studying, I'm walking around.
What's that kinesthetic?
A person who
learn?
moves around or needs
Don't try and make me
active-
just look silly on my own podcast. I mean, come on. Of course, I'll
very
ask what it
active
means.
learner.
I'll ask what it means.
They're
yeah.
passive learners who just read, and I'm the kind of like active learner. I need to
Oh,
move
I'm
around
also
and-
like that then. Kinesthetic learner?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll be dropping that so in every conversation.
Do that.
yeah. So yeah, you walk a lot.
I walk a lot. We have stairs in our house, so multiple times I'm just going up and down.
Yeah.
Just to drink water or anything. I travel a lot, so most of the so I'll tell you a secret.
Please do.
I can't ride a bicycle,
Ah, come on.
and I don't have a driver's license, so
Yeah.
I can't drive a car.
Oh
So the
my
only
God.
way
yeah,
I can
I'm thinking
walk
you're
around,
superwoman and
the only thing I can do is walk or
Yeah.
swim my way somewhere. So I'll either have to swim through the ocean or
listen.
walk through the desert.
you've done everything. Those are the 2 things you actually need to learn to do. Do you think you will take some time off and actually try doing it? Or because maybe you just want to check them off your list?
I'm somebody who's very good at a lot of things, and then there's some things that I'm just very bad at. So I would try, but not now.
Not now. You're
I'm
not ready for that.
emotionally ready.
Okay. Okay, now just the last topic, because like you've noticed, I balance it out with everything,
No,
right?
you just only spoke about health. What
We've
about
talked
wealth?
no health and wealth
Happiness
comes. No, those
and-
come with all the discussion. Like they've been maneuvering like across all those.
So we're not going specifically on that.
No, I don't mention them specifically, but those are the things that guide me on the interview, because I know if I ask you about this, you're gonna answer this way. Because when it comes to like just wealth and everything we've talked about, like just what you've studied and what you're currently doing for the crown and everything. So it's just basically work. It doesn't necessarily mean, like this is what I get at the end of the month and stuff. No. But wait, is there another job that you do?
No.
Apart
I
from
just did my exam.
Oh yeah, okay,
I also
okay.
have to
yeah.
study.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you see, like already from just the conversation, we've already touched on that as well. And after mentioning the wealth and the health bit, how you take care of yourself. Now the last topic comes to drum roll.
Oh, okay. My drums are off beat like that.
Yeah, so the last topic and we'll just touch on this because we can always save it for another podcast. It's love. Because we all need some. It's a funny thing, like we've filled up like 2 memory cards.
Just two?
Just 2. Yeah, we'll save the rest for another day. The question was, before you were rescued.
You remember?
How can I forget
I was
this one?
trying to make you.
Oh, that's not going to happen for this segment. So are you in a relationship?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
Why should I be in one?
Because all strong feminists need a strong man on their side.
I don't think they need one,
They want
but
one.
if they want one, sure they should. I just have too much on my plate.
Yeah. Career-wise,
Career-wise, personal life-wise, too much going on.
or when was the last time you were in one?
I've been single my whole life.
You're lying.
I'm not.
You've never been in a relationship?
But another
For
reason,
real?
Another reason why
Or
my
is that-
neighbors
wait,
think
is that
I'm the
true?
youngest. It's true.
You've never been in a
Yes.
relationship ever.
I just have different priorities. Like I'm like, I have this. I have a lot of things I want to do in my life, and
No.
I feel like when you have a relation, like when I make a decision today,
Yeah.
say I decide to relocate.
Yeah.
So I already have to think like, okay, how will this affect my brother? How will this affect my sister? How will this affect my mother? I have to think about how it will affect me, and then now to add on another person. I do not have shoulders broad enough to take on all that.
This is very interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
but for real, you've never had a
Yes,
relationship.
for real.
Do you feel like you're missing something?
No, not really, because my best friends like all my friends are in relationships, my siblings are in relationships. I see them. I don't feel like I'm missing out on too much.
You're like, no, I don't think this is what I want.
Not now. Yeah.
Not now?
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Wow. Oh, guys. Okay, have guys tried approaching you?
Yes, of course.
Just reject them. Yeah.
I'm not very good
Style
at
bend up.
rejecting, so I try and explain to them how like I'm not looking for a relationship. Like there's nothing wrong with you, there's nothing wrong with me, but you see, this is just not the right time for me, and it's not something I'm looking for right now. Because at the end of the day, rejection means that there's something wrong with somebody, and I also do not want to affect somebody else's self-esteem or anything else they might be feeling. And at the end of the day, to be loved is like it's privilege. Like I really appreciate when people tell me how they feel, but at the same time, I know what I have a priority. If I take on something, I do it like 100%. So I don't want to do something just because I have to or because everyone is. Like not unless I'm ready for something, I wouldn't.
Like I've never met anyone who's never been in a relationship. You know
told
what?
you I don't
Here's
fit
the
into
thing.
any box.
Here's the thing. I had so many questions.
You can still ask them.
No, listen. Listen to this question.
Okay.
Has someone ever cheated on you? Doesn't apply to you.
My brother once stole my fries.
You see, now I have to reevaluate all my questions. But okay, that's very. But do you believe in marriage?
Not really. I believe in relationships. I'm not a big believer
Which you've
in
never
marriages.
been in one.
Yeah, I've also never been in a marriage. Have you?
Okay. No.
Why?
I've been in several relationships and they just didn't work out.
But marriage is different. You should try it.
Oh, look at who's talking.
Me.
Listen, I've seen so many people who are married, and I just don't think that's that's where I want to go right now.
Well, I think me and you are on the same page then.
Yeah, but it's interesting to know that I think you can get more focus when you just like, first of all, build yourself. That's what I'm currently doing. I'm just working on myself so that when it comes to that time, I can actually be like, you know what? Till death do us apart. I can try because I don't know how it is or how it's supposed to be like. And oh my, they just threw me off
So
with all
are
my
you
questions.
single?
Yes.
Why?
What do you mean? Why?
You asked me. I'm asking you.
Because I like a lot of people.
I like a lot of people too. All of you.
Plot twist. No. Not the same way. Like, I do try out relationships, but I haven't found something that's solid enough for me to decide, like, you know what, let me take this to the next step. But speaking of that, like, okay, what qualities do you think you'd be looking for in a guy? Because you are very strong on sexism, you're a strong feminist.
Everyone should be, by the way.
I know, but unfortunately, like even the way you've mentioned, even in some other communities, that doesn't just come like automatically. They have been raised and conditioned differently. So we have to put all those things into consideration. So with that being said, what kind of qualities do you look for? Would you be looking for in a guy when it comes to that time when you want somebody?
I will answer your question if you answer my question.
Please do.
Okay, what are the qualities you look for in a girl?
are you throwing the same question that I've asked you? Okay, loving, caring, and a big bum, and no, of course not. That's a joke. That's a joke.
I'm
Hey,
not judging.
no,
I'm not here to
no,
judge you.
no, that's a
They
joke.
that's their job.
No, that's a joke. And that's because I shared something on my Insta story about it. The subject from a podcast was Big Booty Judy.
Oh.
It was talking about like how many people might be going to somebody because of all the wrong reasons and forget about their personality, and how some girls with big bums feel entitlement because that's all the guys like crave and just worship. But hey,
I'm
listen.
not going to blame the girls.
No, of course not, of course not. But I'm just saying, like, of course, loving, caring, and I think those physical, of course, I would want somebody who just like takes care of themselves. That's not a bad thing to have, but definitely personality plays a very big role to me because I have such a crazy sense of humor, very open-minded, and I'm very adventurous. So I'd want somebody who has like kind of like the same qualities. When I want us to try something new, they don't feel like I'm being dragged to do this thing that, you know. And I'm also a people person. I mean, if they have those are some of the qualities that I'd be looking for. I mean, yeah, you know, you're trying to tiptoe around this. Back to you.
Well, see, I'll say this. Like, I personally keep advocating, like, not putting me in a box. Like, I do not want to be put in a box. At the same time, I do know that I am a very strong person. I'm a strong personality. It's hard to deal with sometimes. I'm not going to make myself be any less. And, you know, often there are these aunties who come to me and they're like, you know, why aren't you married or why aren't you in a relationship? Yeah. And I'd often tell them, like, can you see how much I've achieved?
Wow.
But which guy with the correct ego would be willing to, you know, like, which guy has achieved as much as I've achieved? Like, it's hard to find an equal.
Yeah.
And it is going to be hard for me. But I think I value kindness the most.
Yeah.
Kindness. I really, like, I'm a very... I believe I am a very kind person. I mean, it's for people around me to say, but I've got into like 3 or 4 fights my whole life. That's it. So I'd like to think that I am. So I would really. I think kindness is one of the things I would look for the most.
I think as you grow older, like a lot of assumptions of the things that you had, like, you know, of a partner, kind of start changing, and you start leaning towards more.
My thinking goes towards, instead of looking for the perfect person, let's become perfect ourselves and then let somebody else add to what we have, instead of expecting you know, somebody to be perfect. Nobody's going to be perfect. You'll have to work with that, but don't expect for perfection. You know, work hard on yourself, work hard on you being as amazing as you can be, and then, you know, let that become a part of your life. Don't let that consume and become everything about your life. You know, don't let your relationship dictate what your life is. Don't let your life become just your relationship. Don't just become just the girlfriend or just the wife or whatever you are. Be your own person and let that become a part of your life, you know. So for me, that part is still a way in the future. It's not there, I don't know.
Not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon. There are lots of other things. You know, my biography has chapters and boyfriend is like down there. Maybe it's there, maybe it's not there. Maybe the book is too fat and we'll have to remove that chapter. You don't know.
It's just not on a priority list.
It's not my priority.
Okay, how's your DM looking though? Because you're Miss World Kenya. How's your
in
DM
the beginning,
looking?
The reason why I didn't see your message is because Instagram has these 2 inboxes.
I was there, yeah.
So people I don't follow go into the other inbox. So sometimes if I don't check that for a few months, they remain there. And sometimes if I don't check for like a whole month, the message disappears on its own. Unless that person messages again.
I tried sending messages like I think twice, but you know, I was like, I really need that interview. So I mean, yeah, I'd rather just face. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather just face that rejection. Plus, she's Miss World. Come on, I mean, it's better being rejected by getting that rejection from you as a guest.
But you are very polite and very nice, and there's so many people who send me like these motivational messages and are cheering me on, and then there are a lot of idiots
Let's
who
go. Oh,
send
yeah.
perverted messages
Oh,
or
wow.
send me sexist shit, and that's when I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't want to check this inbox for a while because sometimes you just get angry for no reason.
Yeah, and then
or
even
frustrated.
the people are trying to send you actually nice messages are put in that
Pushed.
box
Yes,
cause
yes.
okay.
So,
But do guys?
and it's not even anything to do with being Miss World or being anything else. Every girl I know, every girl you know, ask them if any girl's on IG. She will tell you minimum one story, but I can vouch for all of you.
Yeah.
There will be more than 10 stories
Yeah, of course.
of men being crazy on Instagram. Why do you do this? Stop doing this. If you're one of them, stop.
But it's just trying to get your attention because I'm just trying to think of like what would.
If it's wrong, it's wrong. It doesn't matter why.
Oh yeah, true.
Take my
true,
attention. Say hello.
True.
Don't
say
say
hi.
shit. Don't say disgusting shit. Like,
They
don't.
send you like an emoji or something, but you wouldn't respond to an emoji.
I try not to
What
respond.
what would catch your attention if somebody sent you like a DM on Instagram? What would catch your attention for you to be like, okay, this is different. Let me respond to this.
I'm not stupid. I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, okay.
But frankly, I try not to reply to strangers.
Yeah.
But sometimes people are being like really nice and all.
Legit, yeah.
So I feel like they're being so kind to me, and they I feel I want to reply. But a lot of the times I'm not able to reply because if I go replying to every message, I
Yeah.
reply to one message, they reply again, and then I'm stuck on my phone, and I try and keep my phone as away from me as I can. I'm not the person who's glued to her phone.
Interesting. Okay, another question that I ask a lot of people.
Interesting.
And, I'm just interested in listening to your answer because, this is one question that like a lot of people are like, let me think about it.
Okay, ask it and then I'll do, let me think about it.
Okay, here's the thing. You've never dated, right? Yeah, you've never been in a relationship. So can I ask? Are you sure I can ask
I
this?
do not know the question, so how can I
Okay,
tell
let me
you?
ask. Okay. When it comes to just choosing a partner or the first time you'll put into consideration like dating and everything, would you ever, depending on whether the person is nice or not, would you ever, what's that serious? What's that serious face?
I'm waiting for you
Like,
to finish the
relax.
question
Now
so
I'm
that I
not
can
sure
do-
if I can ask it. Like,
Interesting question.
like you're like just looking at me like, ask that question. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the
sit
question.
with,
Ease up a bit. I mean, you're like this.
because I was getting into character for
Okay,
them.
okay.
Interesting
Oh, yeah.
question.
Get into character.
Okay.
Would you be open to dating out of your race?
Oh yeah. For me, I think.
Is
as I
that or is
mentioned-
that something that restricts you?
No. I don't think so. For me, I think it's the person that matters most, and it doesn't have to do with their race or ethnicity. One thing that would really matter to me is maybe the food. Like I'd really want that person to become vegetarian. So at least one thing I've established with my sisters, whoever I'll end up with, will have to become vegetarian because I can't cook. So they're the ones who'll have to also do the cooking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or we'll have to be filthy rich and hire a chef or something.
A super chef.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
Let's
so
see.
that's not something that in your mind would be like,
No,
it's
no.
because he's from this ethnicity,
No.
so I wouldn't.
No. In fact, I feel that's something that comes with opening your mind to culture. You realize that, the race or the ethnicity has nothing to do with how a person is. And you realize that people from your very same race and ethnicity could be complete. So, sometimes it's okay. There are good people everywhere.
Yeah.
And, who I wouldn't. No. Would you?
Do what?
Choose your companion based on race or ethnicity?
Yeah.
Why?
I only date white girls.
Why?
I'm joking, of course. Come
Why
on,
are you
that's it.
joking
You
so
know why?
much?
You know why? You know why?
Tears.
You know why? You know why I'm doing that?
Why?
Because like when now I'm doing like the teaser for this episode, I can always cut to that and get your response saying like, I'm open to this and that, and then I'll be like, you know what? I only date white girls, and then people be like, what? He said that on the
Going
podcast.
for controversy.
And then you know why? No. And then you know why? They'll keep watching the podcast until after 2 hours, and then they realize like it was a joke, and they're like,
Scandalous.
come on, what is this? No, but yeah, I'm very open, and even just from have been growing up, how I relate and mix with people, I could date diverse. You'd see me like just even if it's on just casual dates as friends or whoever, like, or even if it's something serious, I'm very diverse when it comes to work, how I relate, and that's why I think I'm just open to a lot. So to me, it doesn't.
I think it shouldn't be a factor.
It shouldn't.
In
In this
any
21st century that we
relationship.
live in, but at times you see, like, there's some people who've been, and I think, like, for you, you see, you've traveled, you've met so many people, you've worked with so many people, studied with so many different people, so that can be definitely that on your head. It will be like you'll just interpret and view things very differently. But there's somebody who's been raised in a certain community, they've grown from there, they've dated from there, they don't know anything else, so they might be scared, or they won't really
Well,
know how they can
I
take a
don't
step.
think there's anything wrong with dating into your same ethnicity
Yeah,
or race.
there's
but,
nothing wrong with that as well.
It shouldn't stop you, because if you want to do it, and if others or the society think of it as wrong, that shouldn't stop you.
Yeah.
But if you yourself don't want to, then
Yeah.
it's completely your call, because you're
Yeah.
getting into the relationship.
Yeah.
I say, like, if you cannot be in a relationship with somebody, you cannot be friends with them, kind of a thing. Like you cannot have double standards and be like,
Yeah.
I want all kinds of friends.
But I can't, like,
because then you're a hypocrite. At the back of
It
your
makes
mind,
no-
you have this class and this
Yeah.
this what am I saying? This
Don't lose
I'm
your
out of
chain
words.
of thought.
No.
Oh, okay,
I
you're
can't
good.
find the word. You have this
Grouping.
grouping. Yeah, maybe grouping.
Yeah.
System. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Something
but-
like that. You guys get it.
Yeah. Because I'm just saying, like, cause I think as per now, it's like we're just in pursuit of happiness. You meet somebody who genuinely, like, just makes you happy. I'd go with it for sure. I mean, it just doesn't really matter
And
to me. It doesn't
also,
matter.
don't depend on other people to be happy. Be happy yourself.
Starts with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. True. I mean, I guess we've talked about, like, a lot,
Everything.
and we still haven't talked about, like, half of the things that we
Really?
that I have like down on my notes, but we can always recoup back for a part 2. But just before we finish, no, we haven't finished. We're almost
Oh.
done. We're almost done. You've mentioned feminism, like, a
Yes.
lot. So how or why is that important to you before we just wrap up the podcast?
Not just to me, it should be important to everyone, especially to women out there. I mean, if
And
you're
what
not,
is it for those people who don't understand?
If you're not on your own side, then nobody is going to be there. Feminism, for those of you who do not know, or those of you who assume you know, but
Yeah.
I can guarantee half of you are wrong.
Yeah.
Feminism is basically, feminism means that women have equal rights to men. It does not say that any superior is more superior to another. Any gender, is more superior to the other. All we are fighting for when we talk about feminism is to have women get the same rights as the men do, and so that it's a safe world, so that it's a world where everybody's treated equally, and let's just get along and live together. It just makes more sense, doesn't it? On the other side, a huge part of feminism is also to include men and to validate their femininity. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, femininity and masculinity are not genders. They are ways of life that are kind of put into our norms. So, just because you're a man doesn't mean you have to have everything just part of the masculinity. You have the femininity, and what I mean by that is, like, men having emotions or men crying, and then they're told, no, don't do that, or you're bullied for that. So feminism doesn't only say that make women equal to men, it also says make men equal to women, which in turn is saying, like, let's uplift both of our genders and bring them on the same level. Even if women are kept here right now and men are here, let's bring both of us over here, because it makes more sense to grow together and to respect each other as we do that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Can you imagine if you have, like, a boyfriend who, like, every time he has a bad time at work, they come and lean and cry on your shoulder?
I have a brother, and I think it's pretty okay. I have a sister, but I'm not a crier myself. Like,
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm the kind of person who doesn't cry a lot, so
Yeah.
I'm not very comfortable around people who cry. I do not know how to react.
Yeah. Because you're like, should I give them a hug? Should I tell them it's going to be
Should I
okay?
give them their own time?
Should I
and-
cry with them?
No, I can't cry. I can't cry in public. I just can't. I can only
That's
cry
just
when I'm
not you.
alone. Yeah, I just can't.
Oh, wow. And here you are just talking about how you should embrace, like, and
Yes, if you want to.
or if you want to,
not because society is
or
restricting
if you want to, yeah.
Yeah, you see, like if you want to cry, you should be able to cry. It shouldn't be that, because you're a man, you shouldn't cry. Be more manly kind of a shit, that
Man
kind
up,
of stuff.
man up.
People
Don't
shouldn't
cry.
be telling
Yeah,
you
yeah.
that stuff. But if you don't want to cry, then people are like, no, you should cry. No. That is stupid as well, like.
True.
So you shouldn't be forced into anything. You should be allowed to become your own person, but it shouldn't be part of a gender norm or this box that they put our genders in.
Kid. Dad is
I
frustrated.
love kids.
Yeah. But
Okay.
the only way you get a kid is like starting understanding how relationships work.
I plan to adopt kids.
Oh, come on. Yo, listen. Yeah.
3 of them, because we are three.
Three?
Me, my brother, my sisters. So I want to adopt kids, and I want to try and adopt kids who are already brothers and sisters. That way, they don't have to be separated by the process of adoption. So I've really thought some things through.
Adopt a boyfriend as well.
What's the website again?
Adoptaboyfriend.com. Okay, so I think we can save the rest for another episode because we've really we've pushed the envelope with this episode. Trust me, and I have nothing but just good things to say about you, and just the experience that I've had with you is not even what I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
I mean, I was just expecting you to come here, be like, a model and just be like, yeah.
That's the stereotype I want to break.
Yeah, but you have broken it
Yes.
with the podcast, and the
I'm
people
very
who are
proud
going,
of it.
and the people who will watch it, they'll just understand you in a very different way as well. Because we've had the conversation has just gone left, right, and we've talked about a lot of things, and you're not reserved to I won't talk about this, I won't talk about. You've answered all the questions that I've just brought up, and that's just part of what the podcast is all about. Just get to know your perspective of different things. And with that being said, I always have one outro question for everyone. One.
I should have watched the previous
One.
podcast to know what it was.
Yeah. So the question is, what's that one thing that you think right now Finali is in pursuit of, and if you got it, it would give your life a sense of balance, better meaning, or just a direction?
I know what it is, but
Boyfriend.
it's a secret.
Boyfriend?
Not a boyfriend.
Okay. Okay.
It's a secret, but I will probably know if I got it or not by December. So maybe and hopefully by December.
So we don't want to jinx it, right?
Not just jinx it. Also, I don't believe in that. I'm not superstitious, but I just I plan things in silence. I don't like to make a big deal out of anything. Nobody knew I was taking part in Miss World until 2 days before the final, when I went everyone, you have to come.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to make a big deal out of my achievements or out of what I want to do. I mean, these are my plans, my personal things. And I feel I need to keep my personal life with myself, because otherwise everything's already out there for everyone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at least my future or my plans can be something I can keep until they actually happen.
Till then.
Yeah, till then.
Okay, so she can't share that information right
Yeah.
now, guys. We have to wait till December.
Yes.
And let's wait till December. Let's just wait. And then with that just being said, I think we've touched on everything, and I don't know where can people find you online. You said she's very limited. She's not everywhere. I mean, she's just picked a few platforms. Where can people find you if they need to ask you questions or
Just
interact with you?
Instagram, because I'm not giving my WhatsApp number over here. So Finali Galaiya, that's the word final with the I at the end, Finali, and then Galaiya, Galaiya. I mean, the name's going to be down there.
Yeah, I'm
And you
gonna
guys
put
can just
tags
Google
everywhere.
it and find me. And
Google is your friend.
Google is your
If you
friend.
just
Your
put on
best
Google,
friend.
she'll pop up. And what else do you have going on? Something a project you want to plug in?
So still, talk about plugging in.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Nothing off the top of my mind right now, but we did
the charity.
Yeah, we recently did a charity where we were feeding over 100 kids at one of the restaurants called On the Rocks. And if anybody out there wants to help out in any way by volunteering, by giving food, or by doing anything, giving resources or anything, please do get in touch with me. Again, on my IG would be the best way, on Instagram. Leave me a message and I will try to get back to you. We are trying our best, and it's time everybody does.
there you have it, guys. Another amazing episode, and I'm definitely calling her for part 2. Do you want to come for part 2?
I would love to.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it, guys. It's been real. The Kiskapades podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube,
Curious.
iTunes, Facebook. Yeah.
Why you called the Kiskapades?
Well, the Kiskapades is the name of the podcast.
Yeah, why?
But do you know about the Kiss Bandit?
No.
The guy who's trying to set Guinness World Record for the most kisses in the world?
I didn't know that.
Well, he's from Kenya.
Well, but why is this podcast called that?
No, I just thought that, because I was already using that hashtag. And it was just like my way of describing so many things. Today I'll be here, today I'll be there. So people are already familiar with that hashtag. So I didn't want to start something that's too far-fetched that people can't relate to. Like, yo, what's this? What's that?
Let me help you.
Yeah.
Kissing on different topics.
Yeah. Kissing on?
Instead of touching different topics, you're kissing on different topics.
Oh.
Makes sense for your name, right?
No, but I can't change it now. But I'll tell you.
No, for your name, to explain it the next time somebody asks you why it's called.
Yeah, it's kissing.
On different topics. The way you touch different topics.
Yeah, you had it, guys. Hey, there you go. No, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You owe
And
me another kidney.
And I can even, I have, now that's 3. I have to steal one.
Which one of you would like to volunteer?
So there you have it, guys. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, we're in all platforms.
Not
Subscribe.
me, only him.
Yeah, it's just me. I wish she started a YouTube and quit.
I didn't start it. I was about to start.
Yeah, hopefully she'll be back on that. But for the ones that exist, the Kiskapades podcast, Facebook, YouTube, and also Spotify, we're on right now. And an outro.
Outro. What
Goodbye.
am I supposed to say? Bye-bye.
Till next time, goodbye. Kissing through topics. Okay? No, we can't forget that. Bye, guys. Till next time.